All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Thursday night. It's Thanksgiving, November 27th, 2025, and it's 8:04 now, Central Time. It's People in the Boxes. I guess we call it episode 171. Very laid back episode today. We're going to have just a hangout. Looks like five people hanging out already on Rumble, a couple people on the Facebook. So anybody that's nothing, not doing a whole lot today, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have an open conversation about whatever comes up. We may talk about Thanksgiving, we may not. We'll be right back. We're gonna play a little intro for people in the boxes and give us some time to hit the like button and share it out a couple times. And we'll be right back here about 4 minutes and 20 seconds, guys. Let's talk about it. Gobble gobble.
Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear to keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Every cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Are they cages or a stage to stand? A prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes, the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. I hear their sound, lost and seeking yet profound. People in the boxes near and far, shining out like a guiding star. Voices echo through the walls so thin, trapped in squares where the stories begin. Whispers rise from the shadows deep, secrets these boxes swear to keep. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Every cube holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Or a stage to stand, a prison built by a human hand. Voices clash, then they blend as one. In the boxes, the journey's begun. People in the boxes, souls on display, talking through the silence, night into day. Bound by lines, yet the truth breaks free. People in the boxes calling to me. Holds a tale untold, hearts of fire, dreams so bold. Walls can't hold what the spirit sings, laughter and tears on fragile wings. Every cage is or a stage to stand. a prison built by a human hand.
All right, we're back. People in the boxes, souls on display. Let me show you guys something cool. Speaking of display, check this out.
These boxes where to keep people in the boxes, souls on display.
That's kind of cool, huh? Although it plays the same song that you just heard right now, but hey, I digress. Right? Hey, what's up, guys? It's people in the boxes. I guess I'll call it an episode since we're doing a show. But it's going to be extremely laid back. It looks like a lot more viewers today than people who want to come up on screen to chat. So if anybody out there wants to come up and chat and hang out, let me know. I will put the link out anyway. And I'm also going to do the number spin a little later. Let's put the music in the back so you can hear some music. There we go. Should be able to hear it now. What's up, Sheena, Kayla, Chris, and of course Alice was our first comment over there on the Rumble today. Who do we got on Facebook? We got Kyle, Sheena, Chris, Kayla, and of course Alice on the Facebook too. Hello everybody. How was your day? Did you do anything? I'll tell you about my day. I didn't do much of anything. I did that. I did a live stream earlier to hang out for almost almost 2 hours, where I had eaten I ate an entire syringe of full extract cannabis oil. So I had a pretty good day. I had a pretty good nap earlier too. I gotta say, almost 2 naps. So it was good. And I made myself some food. It wasn't anything. I actually meant to do something a little bit more fancy. I have a slow cooker, and I meant to do a little slow cooking with like a little roast and a bunch of veggies. But then I didn't get to thinking about it until like 1 o'clock, and I was like, oh no, it takes a good 4 or 5 hours. So I'll have to save it for tomorrow. That's okay. I don't plan on going anywhere tomorrow, although I probably could use a few groceries. I don't plan on going to buy a TV or anything like that. Now that I think about it, though, it might be a good time. Or maybe next year, if I can make it to next year. The TV I'm looking at in front of me, which you guys can't see, I think it's like 32 inches. I could probably get a replacement pretty cheap. And it's got some problems. I can't have audio without my headphones, so I have to get some speakers for this thing to work. Anyway, what's going on? Let's see what you guys are up to here. I'll come up on screen. Okay. Yeah. I forgot to put the link out. Anybody wants to let me know how your day has been. What's been up with the holiday? Anybody should be free to come up. Let me post it on the Facebook as well. Boom. There it is. Whoop, there it is. Yeah, we're going to have... don't really need to, I guess, but after a couple of naps, it's probably time for maybe just a little puff. We're going to have a little celebratory, little holiday puff, especially once we have Chris or anyone else come up. I did put the link out on Facebook. I think I pinned it. There we go. Andrew back again. What's up, my guy? My name is Andrew Miller. I hear now. Okay. Are you, seem like maybe somebody that I already know. Tina, hello. Hello. Kyle, I worked all day. You worked today, Kyle? What kind of job was open today? I wonder. Some kind of a factory downtown. Were you canning up peaches? Is that a real inches or a guy's 32 inches? I don't know, Chris. I mean, it's a little suspect. Like you gotta measure it diagonally. Like you can't measure it just any way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Alice says I cooked for 3 hours for everyone to spend 20 minutes of eating. Yeah, that is sad. You think, well, you want them to eat more, but then at the same time, you don't want them to eat so much that they're busting a gut. So it is sad. All that time cooking just for a meal that takes literally less than half an hour to eat. Although I can wait a little while and then maybe have dessert or something, but then you're definitely past your past your needs, your necessity at that point. Yeah, I don't know, I've always enjoyed the food, but it is a lot. It's a bit much. It's like, oh, pile your plate up high, and it's like, yeah, but I'm never gonna get through all that. If I do, I'm not gonna like myself tomorrow. What all did you cook, Alice? Oh yeah, Sheena, hashtag ladies of WTIF. Oh yeah. You had a TV dinner? What? Sheena? Are you kidding me? I mean, some of them are probably alright. How'd you do it? Did you do it in the microwave? Ooh, that's probably the worst part about this story, Sheena. The worst part about it. You're a store manager for DG. DG, just for dairy? No, for what? DG. DG, for. I can't think of it, Kyle. You're gonna have to help me out. DG. DG, that's something that's got to be open during Thanksgiving. DG. Is that like a grocery store, maybe? Dollar General, yes. Well, close to it. Like something that, yeah, kind of one of those essential stores. I see. I understand. Well, cheers to you, and cheers to all the people that have to work on days like today. Gas stations and Dollar Generals and, grocery stores. Probably, can't think of too many other places. Might be a shop or two open. Not a ton of things. Anyway, cheers to you, Kyle. What did you think of the little video, little graphic thing that I made here? It took me a little while today. I kind of did a few different things that I kind of layered in here to overlap and to add to it, and it wasn't just, hey, AI, make me something. I did have to make some of the video part, but check it out again.
These boxes where to keep people in the boxes falls on display.
It's kind of cool, huh? I'm there so much. They keep on trying to get me to work there. Chris, I put out the link. Did you say I don't know what you said earlier about you're eating dinner? I don't know. Hey Kayla, what are you eating? What are you having? Pork chops, mac and cheese, rolls, and veggies. Okay. Noodles made from duck eggs, turkey scalloped corn, yams, and rolls. Oh wow, the noodles and turkey and noodles. Deviled eggs, mashed potatoes, the whole thing. Thank you, Alice. I appreciate that. I spent some time. I could do some other like video, like some other audio part. I just tried to grab something that had people in the boxes as the audio. I could maybe grab one of the other ones or whatever, but it works for now. It works. Downstairs setting up the laptop. Okay. No rush, Chris. No rush. I can, look. I can handle being up here alone. That doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I would prefer it on this show at least. On other shows, I like to just riff and go on and on. But tonight is usually a good chance for me to have a back and forth. Um, I do 5 shows a week, and you know, I guess game night. I have to have people on game night, so there's a back and forth there, and somewhat. I mean, there's a game being played. I guess there is on people in the boxes now too. Although tonight we're not going to be playing that game. Clearly, I can't play by myself. Name in the last time you ate turkey. I don't know. It's been a while. In fact, you know what I could do? I could message the people in the boxes chat, see if anybody else is coming on. But yeah, it's one of those holidays. I'm like, well, so they kind of try to cover all the bases where you have your overall consumerism with Black Friday and Christmas, all the way up to Christmas. People are last minute buying, and then or well before that you have Thanksgiving, which is okay. Well, let's make sure the food companies are getting a lot of people to buy extra food. You know, Although, I mean, if we could say that the tradition is correct, or if it really came about the way that we learned in school, which I highly doubt. I'm sure it was like much more intense than what we imagine that kind of situation being, where it's like Native Americans coming together with these pilgrims trying to figure out like how to break bread together. It was probably messy and probably weird and awkward, man. You're like, they're handing you this corn cob. You're like, what is this? And and they're like, okay, it probably wasn't this beautiful laid out table with decorations and those horn things with overflowing with fruits and vegetables, and like it wasn't. I don't think there was a turkey.
Cornucopias.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think there was a like beautiful turkey laid out. There might have been some turkey there, but I'm
And
just
then
saying.
they came back later and slaughtered them all.
Right. Like imagine Thanksgiving as the a holiday where everybody goes out to kill their own food
It was
and
a
find
red
their own food.
wedding, like in Game of Thrones, where they invited everybody over and they just killed everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we need to go that far. I'm just saying like instead of it being a holiday where it's like you got to go to the store and load up on all this food, it could be a holiday where it's like you got to go out to your cousin Bill's land, and we're gonna have to kill something to eat because the tradition is not that you have to kill. Not like maybe you can go to the grocery store, but the tradition could be that, or at least I'm talking this holiday in my head that I'm coming up with. It could have been where the tradition is that you kill something in order to eat it. It doesn't have to be a turkey, just something. Hey, go out and maybe not the neighbor's cat. Go out to some like land somewhere that's a hunting place. But that would be tough though, with like everyone trying to do it, like that many people trying to uphold that. You'd end
Well,
up with
hey,
these. What you'd end up with are these like pseudo farm areas, kind of like they did with fishing. So I don't know if you ever heard this story, Chris, where I went to North Carolina for a week when I was about 14. I won a charter bus trip from being a newspaper boy, paper boy, and I was good at it. My people liked me, and so my district manager put me on this trip. Well, there's 2 charter buses full of paper boys and girls, paper kids. Were on this bus, but anyway, 2 bus loads going to North Carolina. And we did all that. Um, there was a reason why I was telling you that story. I lost it. I lost it. Uh, Chris, don't let
That
me
happens
lose
to
it.
me sometimes.
Don't let me lose it, Chris. Don't let me lose it. It was we were talking about oh, Chris, you weren't even hearing me before that. You couldn't help me at all. You just let me
Yeah,
down.
I'm really stoned.
I am not as much. I'm kind of tired. That's all. We killed a
Oh,
turkey and hung it. Oh, killing thing. Yes. Okay. This is what
you
brought me.
wanted to
Thank you.
kill
Thank you,
something and
Alice.
eat
I
it.
got it. Yes. So
To eat what you
during the
kill.
yes during this trip, they gave us an option, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want to go either go fishing or you want to go up to this like carnival on the top of this hill?" And they explained it to us, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a rickety old ski lift that you take up to the top of this like plateau, and then it's like really old like equipment, like old Ferris wheel and all of that stuff." And we were all like, I don't know, that doesn't sound too safe. So we decided not to take two bus loads of kids up this rickety mountain. And we're like, all right, well, let's go fishing. Everyone's like, yeah, we'll go fishing. And so we go to this place where they consider it fishing, where you literally have these tiny ponds that are man-made, that are basically stock fish tanks, basically breeding ponds, where you walk
Yeah.
up, you wait in line, you walk up with a pole, and there's a guy standing there. He grabs your pole, he grabs the end of the pole, dips it in for you. Boom, you got a fish. Like it's like a little ball of bread they put on there. Boom, you got a fish. Because there's so many fish in there. Boom, they pick up the fish, and they take it to they swing it over to this other guy who's got a hammer and a rock or a brick, and just bam, it kills the fish. And then you take the fish in to this like a restaurant inside where they cook it for you, and you get to eat it. So basically, the reason I bring that up is because that's what it would turn into in places like cities or whatever. Say if this tradition started that way and it came up through like the 19th century, and it was like, okay, you got to kill something. It's coming up to Thanksgiving, and people in like cities and stuff, there would end up being like farms like that where there'd be like turkeys in a cage, and you just kill it from like from outside the cage or whatever, and that's what that would turn into, because we don't have enough hunting land for every person. Like if all people suddenly somehow were able to not kill each other and just instantly not have access to grocery stores, like obviously that would kill a lot of people. But I'm saying if we could somehow not make that happen, everyone had to go to foraging, planting, and hunting to survive, it wouldn't be possible, I don't think, with all the people that are in cities. They would have to have these like pseudo hunting, like little,
Yeah,
little
they're
backyard
just
that's
not
got,
trained. Like me
well,
and my
but there's not
cousins
enough room. I think there's not enough. There's room enough people for enough people to live. I believe. I just don't think there's enough room for every person to be
to
able to
eat.
hunt. No, to hunt their food. We have to farm in order, I think, to be able to feed everybody. That's why it's important for us to get back to regenerative farming versus,
Yeah.
in
Me and my
fact,
cousins, when we were kids, we used to stalk deer for like 2 miles, and we weren't even hunting at the time. Our goal was to see which one of us could get close enough to like a buck or a doe to smack it on its ass. It's stalking, it's stealth. It takes a lot. I was not the best at it. I got close, but no, never cracked a deer on its ass.
Derek from Australia says I had a foot of rain in 6 days. Dog didn't get washed. Now a rancid beast. I'll listen while washing. Happy Thanksgiving, Derek. Yeah,
Derek,
sounds like an extra wet dog for sure.
Derek, you have other things to worry about. Everything on that land is trying to kill you. Okay.
Yeah, he's. You're right. Probably including everything that's in that dog's fur while you're trying to wash it.
Yeah.
Just jump out at
You're gonna
you.
have like a 2 foot long spider just jump out of its fur.
We talked about parasites for a little bit yesterday on the show, and it's like, yeah, talk about parasites. You're gonna wash the dog and get something. Gotta get my camera back.
I always wanted to try surfing on some of the beaches in Australia, but then I watched all these. I found out that there are so many sharks around Australia. It's like almost like Indonesia, like around Indonesia and stuff. All the best surfing places have sharks. I don't like sharks.
They,
They're
they,
sneaky.
you know why they go there? Was it like it's like a chicken and the egg situation? Was there good surfing there, and that brought the people, which then brought the sharks, or
Yeah,
is
that's
it a
that's
nice
what I'm talking
place?
about.
Is it a
Like
place
they
that
know.
maybe they already were there because they liked that place for some other reason?
No, they wanted to eat people. I
I'd have
watched
I'd
Shark
have to
Week.
find out. I'd have to know. Hey, what's up? What's up, Debbie? What's up? Who else did I see come in? I saw somebody else a second ago. Cullen. What's up, Cullen? Guys, yeah, we're just chilling. Hit that like button. Hit a hashtag or two. Hashtag PITB. Hashtag ladies of PITB. Hashtag Sprout. He's in jail right now. I could probably get him out, but I knew I'd be smoking a little bit, so.
I
And
wanted to
he
put my
hasn't been
dog
so
in jail
cooperative.
today.
He hasn't been cooperative lately. You wanted to?
Oh yeah, we were out and I took him out because he fucking loves rides. So I took him out and he was just being an asshole and he did something that he never usually does. When I got out of the car, he jumped from the back seat. This is a Great Dane, by the way. He jumps from the back seat to the front seat and out the front door and just runs. I was like, "Oh, you little asshole." I'm in flip flops and
I don't know
pajama
about little.
bottoms.
I don't know about little asshole.
Yeah, I'm in flip flops and pajama bottoms, yelling at him in the Sheets parking lot.
Hey, Frog Hopper, come on up, man. Come up for a bit if you want to. I'm just gonna. While we oh wow, I just I looked away and looked back up. I don't know. 20 minutes later, there were 12 people here on Rumble. Now there's 7. Look, it's not that exciting of a night. We're just on because some people didn't celebrate the holiday. Some people maybe are done with the holiday or back home and chilling and have a little time off. So decide to come on anyway versus having the night off. So we're here. It's kind of a hangout. A way
Once
to
upon a time, I used to start yesterday and I just plow right through. And then I was like, oh, I can't do that anymore. Fucking, I hate getting older, man. Really. I ain't
Alice
signed up for
says,
this shit.
I believe in bartering. Yeah, bartering definitely. I mean, you definitely have to. That's why the people that are like against money, it's like, well, look, bartering is all well and good, but bartering is not easy, and a lot of times you get taken. You get screwed on bartering a lot more often than you do with money. Because
Yeah, unless you like really know somebody, you just meet somebody, they're gonna try to get everything they can get. That's like
I'll
at a
give you
festival
this.
when you're bartering with.
I'll give you this ink pen. You give me that bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait, hold on.
Mm.
Just got home, Leslie. Okay, no worries, brother. If you want to come up, let me know. I'll send you the link. Happy Thanksgiving night sesh. I like it, Alice. I like that the phraseology. Strategery.
Leslie, the hopper of frogs.
Can you hear the music?
I can't.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I hear music in my head, but I can't hear you.
I guess, yeah, you wouldn't be able to anyway because of that glitch that we found yesterday.
Yeah. Every time they fix something, it's like something else goes wrong.
Yeah, they're still trying to get it all right. But the issue is trying to fix it while so many people are relying on it.
Or yeah,
That becomes
like
the
they can't
problem.
just shut down all their servers and yeah.
We used to. So I remember experiencing that when I was younger, playing World of Warcraft. I'd be playing WoW, and they would have. There was a certain day and time that they're like, okay, like this is the time of the week that we do a shutdown, and that's it. Imagine if Facebook had that, like a certain day of the week where it was just down for a few hours, and everyone knew that was going to happen every week. Like, just imagine the sort of the difference. I don't know, like what would everybody do around that time? I wonder. Like, and it's not just Facebook. It like
They
obviously
might be
there's a
forced
lot
to
of
talk to people.
people that are on X that are not on Facebook, and vice versa. So it is kind of a weird thing. But I'm just saying, imagine whatever your favored social media platform is, having a time of the week where it's like, oh, you can't do anything right now. You might as well go smell the roses. I think that would be nice. I think it'd be kind of a cool thing. Although some people might just be working at that time, so it wouldn't matter to them. Hey, I can concentrate on my work for a minute. Oh, I'm not gonna look at my phone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could see some benefits to that for sure. Now they wouldn't want that, because I think I could imagine a calculation in the millions of dollars for every minute that they're down, that the website is down. There's probably a very high dollar amount that they lose for every minute that Facebook is down. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not even like they're losing it. It's like subscribers that it's stuff that money they won't get. So it's not like everybody would drop off. It's like, well, we could earn this
Unrealized
much in this
gains,
amount of
right?
time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we just lost all that. And then some people will stop going to it, so then they drop after that. But they are billions of dollars of corporation. Fucking crazy money you can't spend in one lifetime. I mean,
Leslie, I hope you feel better soon, man. Yeah, definitely no big deal, but yeah, I could see it being like just crazy amount of money, but you divide that amongst all the shareholders, and it doesn't look so big anymore. But
fuck those shareholders.
I'm just spitballing though. It's like it's got to be in the millions,
Yeah.
for like every minute.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I went through something about stocks in school, but like I wasn't interested. But I got like a basis, so I know that there's shareholders and stuff like that. But there's like the people that own a majority of the company. That's in case of any kind of takeover or something, they have to have a certain percentage to do whatever. And those people are making crazy money. Like I could blow some cash on some things, but I couldn't
Yeah, but
spend that
look,
much.
could you do Brewster's Millions?
I
The
thought
Brewster's
about
Millions
that.
challenge. Could you do it? Have you all comment below? Tell
I
me if you've
forget.
heard of if you know this challenge.
I
It's not a
forget
challenge.
it.
I'm making it up, but there was a challenge in the movie. Go ahead. You know what it
Could
is?
you donate it,
You
or
cannot.
did you have to spend it?
You could not donate it, and you could not buy any kind of assets that
That
would
you could hold
immediately. Yeah,
to be blown. Oh hell yeah, dude!
there might be like I don't remember all the specific details on like why you couldn't just hand it to somebody, but you had to spend it without buying anything, and you couldn't tell anybody. And so he bought a stamp, and they thought that was gonna get him, and he used it. He mailed it, so it immediately loses all of its value when you use it. Like these stamps that are worth a lot of money, That was pretty smart of him. You buy a expensive ass stamp and then you use it as like
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I might watch it again
it.
because
It,
it's been
it
such
holds
a
up.
long time.
It holds up. He goes to dinner, and he buys like, one of everything. And it's like expensive dinner, and he's trying to spend $30 million though. And it's like, imagine on a daily basis how much you would have to spend. You couldn't just go and buy a bunch of stuff. You couldn't just go and buy, buy the store out. You couldn't buy like I forget what all he had. There was a few little tricks that they came up with for him, but it was pretty funny. Yeah,
Honestly, I think I'd come out of retirement and just blow it all on drugs and hookers.
30 million up your nose. You don't even make it to 30 days.
Oh, some of them hookers are like high class.
He
Like
got
I'd be getting adult porn stars and shit.
he got 30 days.
Mountains of coke, like Scarface coke. My sponsor be calling me, "What the fuck you doing?"
Kim's asking for the link. I'll send it to Kim.
I don't know. I guess I'd pay like my mom's bills. I'd pay for her hospital stuff to get her like a real hospital because that's fucking a lot of money. I'd take care of the people that took care of me, see how much I had left, and then I think if I'd buy like an island, that would cover the cost. But what if I donate that island then so I don't have the island? Because then I'd have nothing.
I don't think there for some reason he couldn't just go and donate things to people.
Well, I didn't. I'd buy the island, so that would be mine. So it would show that I bought that.
Donate
but
it.
after I bought that, I could just give it because then it wouldn't be from the money. It'd be
That's
me
still
giving
donating
it away.
That's still donating.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be from that money. It would be from me. That's what I'm saying. Like I drew the money for the island. After the island's mine, it's not drawing that money anymore. After I have that island, wouldn't it like technically be okay for me just to go, hey, here's this island, and then I would have nothing from it, so I wouldn't be caught by that claw.
The old man, his great grandpa or whoever it was giving him this challenge partly because when he was a kid, he was forced to smoke a whole box of cigars in a closet.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that was going to teach him. Like he gave him a whole box of cigars. Like he wasn't going to end up being a smoker his whole life because of that. But yeah, he said. But basically, he said he couldn't. I think that was why he said he couldn't give it away, because he said I didn't get any help in that closet, neither can you. So that's why he said you couldn't tell anybody, and you couldn't just give it to somebody, because that would just be too easy or something. Anyway, he outlined some rules for him.
I'm wondering how the stamp thing went though, because like he bought the stamp, but then he sent the stamp and then it had no value. But if you buy
it's not the same as giving it to someone. If you gave it to someone, then
I'm using like the example of an island. If you buy an island and then you just like, okay, I'm done with it. And
the value of it's still there when you give it to someone else, though. It's still valuable. It's an asset. Look, I think you're not wrong, but I think somewhere in the movie, pretty sure he.
Yeah, I have to watch it again because now I'm really high and I'm trying to run this.
Well, there's some reason why he couldn't just do that. I mean, because otherwise that would be an answer to just instead of just buying an expensive building or whatever, you could just give $30 million to your friend Waylon. Leslie, no, that's called trading places. A rich but poor man replaced with a rich man. That's trading places. Are you playing TV or something, Chris? Because I hear a bunch of.
That's not me. No. I don't have anything else on. No, I don't have anything else on.
It's not nothing playing over here. Not now. It's
I
gone.
did hear it though. Yeah, I did hear it though.
You don't be fibbing over there, Chris.
No, I'm serious.
As my son
This is my
says,
phone.
that's just like my son says. Don't eat too much sugar or tell lies. Okay.
You gonna let me in anytime soon?
Oh, that was the sound. Oh, I see. My bad. I forgot I had it set to 2 people, not everybody. That was.
You
what
had
we
me
heard,
freaking
Chris.
out, man. I was looking around. I was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck's going
You
on?"
had me up here assuming Chris was lying to me. Like, Chris, did you really just shut something off and you didn't want to tell me what's going on?
I'm really paranoid, and you started saying that, and I heard it, and I was just like, I started looking around.
Oh boy.
Better get your aluminum foil out and make you a hat.
I did that one time. I
It's
made
underneath.
a hat for me and
It's
3 of my
underneath.
friends. I
Yeah.
was on a lot of mushrooms, but I was convinced that people were trying to steal my thoughts. It
What
worked
made
in
you
my
think?
mind at the time.
What made you think aluminum was gonna keep him out?
Well, because I thought they'd shoot rays, and once it hit the aluminum, it would reflect and refract, so it wouldn't be able to hit my skull. So I made this is at a bonfire party where everybody ate mushrooms. So I come out with an aluminum foil hat, and then a couple people said, "That's a good idea." So I made aluminum foil hats for like 4 different people, 3 or 4 different people.
I want my tinfoil hat. Yeah, I guess people probably would want one, but I don't know if they were all on the same train as you were as far as the
Yeah,
value.
I
of
was.
that.
I remember I went off on a rant. I don't even remember what I said, but apparently I made sense to them, and they were just like, "I want one too."
Like, I gotta have one of those.
Like I don't remember the entire conversation, but I remember everybody was just hanging on my words, and I started going off and da 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 da, and then like there's these 4 different people that got up and were like, "We want one too," and I'm there with like these aluminum foil rolls because I bought them before. 'Cause I started
You just
tripping
had
early.
rolls with
No,
you
I bought
already.
them. I bought them before I got to because I ate my mushrooms early. So I bought them before I got there, and like 4 different people got up, and I just started making them aluminum foil hats.
Okay, so I'm never doing mushrooms.
Mushrooms are wonderful.
Don't let
Now,
the
if
thing
you
that Chris,
microdose-
don't let
Oh,
what
yeah,
Chris
I can
does
tell.
stop you from doing life.
I
I eat an exorbitant amount of mushrooms.
Hey, Lila Rose in the house.
Mushrooms and psilocybin or psilocybin is
Psilocybin.
actually helpful. Yeah, is actually helpful for your brain. I did a report on it in college for a college course for a psychology one. It actually helps restore stuff. It creates new pathways and helps repair damaged ones. There are other mushrooms like what they call gourmet mushrooms that have no psychoactive effects that also help, but psilocybin in small doses so you don't like trip out or anything, just enough to just enough to for it to help your brain. It does it regenerates, creates new pathways. That's what I'm starting to give my mom from her surgeries for a brain tumor.
Have you heard of methylene blue?
I've heard of it, but I haven't actually read into it.
Methylene blue, Kim, would you use it?
I don't know what that is.
It turns your brain blue, and it's a dye. It's a blue dye, but they found some benefits, medical benefits for the brain. Let's see.
Yeah, I seen it come up on my news feed at different times, but it just sounded so kind of. I didn't know if it was real or not, so I didn't really look into it.
I'm not into experimenting with stuff for my brain.
This is from
No, they
Harvard Health Publishing. It says a once used to dye cotton and thread malaria. Methylene blue is gaining attention for a variety of off-label uses. Learn where it
Malaria.
started. Oh, that's malaria. Oh, nice. Good call. Learn where it started, how it works, and what the evidence says about its safety and health benefits. Vibrant colored cobalt blue synthetic dye with a long history of highly synthetic or specific medical applications treating malaria or a rare blood disorder called methylmoglobinemia. Methylmoglobinemia. For instance, methylene blue has some recognized medical uses. However, despite recent reports of off-label uses that have popped up in the news over the past few months, the only FDA-approved use for methylene blue is for the treatment of methylmoglobinemia, a rare condition that restricts the ability of red blood cells to deliver oxygen throughout the body. But I want to know what the new off-label stuff is that people are using it for. There's a bunch of things people are using it for. Talking to Joe Rogan about it and stuff.
I don't trust any of that. They took my mom for experimental treatment for her brain cancer, and she came back with diabetes and pancreatitis. She got worse. I don't trust any of that.
They're using it to help detect cancer, but I don't know if that's good for you still. Go ahead, Kim.
I'm not into experimental shit with the brain. There's too much about the brain that we don't know, and that's like the thing that runs your body. I'm not
Exactly. So a lot of stuff is experimental that they're doing. She went in, they didn't call it experimental treatment. It was I forget what the word is, but she only had to go there. She could only go there to get her test because they wanted to log everything because they were doing some treatment. And then she developed like bad diabetes and pancreatitis.
Yeah.
There's a list here of all the off-label things. Vasodilatory shock, which is also called distributive shock. It also is an antidote to cyanide poisoning. Weird. In photodynamic therapy for disorders such as cirrhosis and chronic wounds. It helps diagnose, manage, or improve the treatment of various types of cancer, including cancers of the breast, mouth, and skin. Ease pain of oral mucositis. Mucositis? Am I saying that right?
Mucositis.
What website is this?
This is a Harvard Ed or Harvard EDU.
Okay.
Inflammation of oral mucus.
I heard oral whaling.
Membranes that often occurs with either radiation therapy to head and neck or with chemotherapy. So some people are using it for other things, but they're not FDA approved.
I don't know. They might have given my mom some. I don't know if it's not FDA approved. I don't know if they would have given it to her. But she's
by the way,
gotten all kinds of stuff.
Chris, you said they did something experimental or whatever.
Clinical trials. I think it was called.
this is why they call it medical practice. It is not a it's not a solid science. Medical science is
Yeah,
not
but she
solid.
thought it was, and I told her, but my mother, she always looks at me as a child and I don't know anything, and because these people were doctors, she went right for it, and I said, "Please don't," and she did it.
Right? Rose says all pharma is experimental. I still believe plants are way less harmful. I agree. I agree. I think that's where pharmaceuticals came from. When you start to concentrate it, which I mean, look at cannabis. A lot of people can't handle doing a dab, and that's because they are getting more and more concentrated of a plant. They're taking a plant and they're taking, not even
Yeah, that's when
not even just what's good about the plant, but they're taking some part of the plant and they're concentrating it down. And I love dabs. I'm just not, I guess I'm hypocritical here, but then you get this product that is so potent that not as many people can handle, especially not handle and then go be functional somewhere in some way.
that's what I was about to say. You got to start looking into terpenes, the stuff that'll actually help you. But that's why I like live resin.
We'll do it live.
Uh, yeah, it still
We'll
has
do it
the
live.
terpenes in it.
We'll do it live. So Kim, you went to your son's. How was the food?
It was good.
Can you give me anything more than that? Can you fill a few minutes or?
I mean,
That
it
meant the food wasn't that good.
was Thanksgiving food.
Wasn't very notable.
I'm not a big
Yeah,
fan of food.
she would have said, "Oh, that food was awesome."
The best part is the broccoli and cheese sauce and I love the
They
way
do
the
that.
mashed potatoes
Like-
is made. Like what's the thing? What's the one thing that's like stood out to you?
She's like, "Yeah, it was good."
And it all tasted like a piece of cardboard, really. Like
No,
okay,
the food was fine. It was good.
nothing. There was no dish that's your favorite, like the stuffing.
I
I love to get the dinner roll, and I shove stuffing into the side of it. Go ahead, sorry.
I'm not a big fan of Thanksgiving food.
I'm not a huge fan of it either. I've talked about it, but I would still max out on it if it was good. Like if it was prepared well, good food. I'm still gonna eat some. I don't like a lot of turkey. I don't like the turkey myself. I'm not a turkey
I
fan.
don't like. We had turkey. We had ham. I ate a little bit of both, just cause. But I'm
Right.
not a big fan of Thanksgiving food. The mashed potatoes were good. The stuffing was good. What else did we have?
I don't make like
No,
Thanksgiving food. I went to my aunt's house and I picked up leftovers, and she made brisket.
Oh, that's nice. I like my favorite part about Thanksgiving is the fireworks.
Fireworks.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
videos
Biden?
of the fire. No, all the videos of the firemen with the long pole and taking a frozen turkey and
Oh.
dropping it into a vat of like boiling hot lava oil, and it just
I was gonna say fireworks. My so-called family fistfights. That's why.
I was looking at. I have a police scanner app on my phone, and a notification popped up, and I was like, and I only saw part of it, and I was like, what the hell did that say? Because I've been busy all day. And so I went into the app to see what they were talking about, because it was someplace near, not right near where I live, but not too far up, like maybe a mile up from where I live.
over yonder.
And they were having a shootout, like between two different properties up that way. It's kind of rural out there. And so I was like, what the fuck was that about? So I went into the app to see, and I was like scrolling through trying to find it, and there was like probably 30 over a 12-hour period, at least 30 that I counted domestic violence calls, different ones,
In the
different
same area?
areas. No, in our city.
So,
I was
so
like, holy shit, happy Thanksgiving. I guess the holiday festivities have begun. People
right.
get
Well,
stupid during this time of the year.
I thought you were saying between two different spots. Like, I was wondering if maybe one was called the Hatfields, one was the McCoys. Maybe
Uh,
they just had like a maybe possibly an age-old family feud that
well,
they
this
had.
area out here where I live,
Yeah, out in
in
the
my
country.
kind of my area east towards the mountains, um, back 30 years ago, it was like little colonias out here in the middle of the desert. And, places that didn't have running water, you'd have these 300-year-old mobile homes that would house like 20 people in them, kind
Mm.
of situations like that. Really poor,
Yep. Mountains of PA,
immigrant
right here.
people. And, this whole area out here for a long time had a reputation because there's gangbangers and, just lawless people came to live out here. And there's still pockets of that out here. So my guess is wherever the shooting that was going on, that's probably a property. Those are properties where you've got those kind of people.
Isn't that weird that they call it gangbang? There's two very different things, right? There's two very different things.
You want to be invited to one gangbang, not the other.
Well,
I
I
don't
don't
want
know. I don't know if I
to.
want to be invited to either one of them.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Those,
I go first. No, like where
yeah,
I live,
no, no
I
one's
live in
going
the deep
first.
mountains, like old houses. Like you could see wood paneling, like in the background here. But right next, like 8 minutes, because the elevation drops, it drops into a valley, which is
Drop.
Johnstown. Mm-hmm. And like your ears pop. But Johnstown is just like it's a steel town where they pulled out steel, so everything is just derelict, and the city is shit. So you get all that, and every once in a while it swings up, and it's that's why people should own weapons.
All right. Good luck, everybody. I thank you for participating,
My
and
opinion.
thank you for your subscription. I do appreciate it. I do have things that I'm doing. I have a plan. I do. I promise. Stay with me here. Stay with me. I have actually have.
Whenever,
I showed you. Was that you, Chris? That I showed today, or did you see my labeling that I pulled up earlier?
oh yeah, I was looking at some of that earlier.
A new logo. Yeah. And I made a new People in the Boxes logo. Kim, I'm gonna show you
You
right
had
after
like
this
music.
pinwheel.
You
Huh?
had like music to it, didn't you?
The logo I did, but not the label that I'm talking about. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about
I wasn't.
maybe that wasn't what I pulled up for you, but I showed a label off earlier when I was live at the end of the live. Number 12. That is crazy. 14, 13, 15, and 12. All numbers from the top of the list. That's crazy. This week.
I don't know if I commented or not. My sleep is
Commented
all off.
twice. You commented twice. Son of
Okay.
a Perry Wood winning a ticket. Congrats, Perry.
Every time I hear Perry Wood, I hear Harry Wood, and I laugh. Just
All right,
chuckle to myself.
Kim, check this out. This is the new logo. You might have seen it in the People in the Boxes chat, but you might not have seen this.
These boxes swear to keep people in the boxes sold on display.
Did that echo for you guys?
No.
No? Cool.
I heard it regular.
What'd you think of the PITB getting sucked into the box?
It's cool.
How did I hear you say that, but I didn't see your face, your mouth move? That was crazy. It was just like, Cool.
What have you
Whoa.
been smoking? Or did you take some mushrooms?
Well, I see it moving now. Well,
Do
it's
you
probably just a video. It's probably just an optical illusion. Chris?
Mhm. Is that what we're calling it?
like?
Hmm.
Are those random colors, or those the colors you picked, or?
I kind of had to play with them a little bit because the colors are the graphic I found to use actually had um, when you picked the colors, or three colors, and we picked them, it actually blended them as if you mixed two colors together. So I had to try a bunch of different blends to kind of get what I was
I was
looking
gonna
for.
say, because like I used to do a lot of art, and like on the color wheel, there are colors that will make other colors like look brighter or make
Hmm.
them pop, and so that's why they use those. I can't even think of it right now. I'm really high,
Do you
but
think this
like
one? Do you think it pops? I think it needs some work.
um, yeah, I think it needs work because it's kind of like, I don't know, it's soft. It's like pink and blue, I think. It's
Soft.
These boxes
It's
where to
green.
keep
oh wait.
all in the boxes falls on display. These
It's green. It starts out with
Okay.
green and it ends up
All
kind
right.
of changes
I
color
was
a little
thinking
bit.
about the phones. The phones distracted me.
the
No,
the logo itself
that's cool because
is
it's like a swirl in the background. That's cool. It's the phone colors is what threw me off.
so this is the logo. Oh, that's a background. Dang it! I need to make that an overlay. Here's the solid, like just the standstill logo. So it's kind of like a purple, green, and in the middle it's almost like an aqua. So I had
That's
no
cool.
reason to pick any certain colors. I was just trying colors until it didn't look like garbage, like it was looking weird the way some of the colors were mixing together. Be like a dark poop color, yellow, and it was just weird. Yeah, like it would, like the whole thing would be changing color. So I tried a few things. I could try some more and do some other things, but it is what it is.
It looks good like that. I was just thinking about the wheel, how certain colors make other ones stick out. I was just trying to, if you were still
That's okay.
experimenting, I was telling you to look up that.
I can take the
They're
criticism.
called like secondary. There's like primary, there's secondary, and there's like augmenting, I think it's called. They're like on separate sides of the wheel, and they're supposed to make each color makes each other one out stand better.
Look at that. That works on fits on the wheel. Nice.
When are you gonna get an eyeball? I've been telling everybody that has a wheel, get an eyeball on the wheel. That'd be awesome.
I could put an eyeball on the P, the opening of the hole of the P.
Why do you want to put an eyeball?
I don't know.
Because when it's going around, it's still the same eyeball, and then when the wheel goes around, your attention gets drawn to the center. What else is better to look at than an eyeball? Because then you think that it's staring
Logos
back at
and
me.
advertising type things. I don't know. It looks good.
See,
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, Alice. Thank you,
at the
Rose.
center of the wheel, though, since it spins, like you don't see it, so you might as well get something that is stationary. So
You
when
do
it
see it when it
spins, it
slows
looks the
down, though.
same.
Well, look,
Yeah,
but
but
that would be like you can't design a logo like that. So if you put just an
yeah, that's what
eyeball,
I was saying. Just the
you could put
center of the wheel, the
okay.
eyeball,
All right, I'm starting to see it your way here, Chris. I think what we could do
or anything
if I can
stationary.
if I could add to your thought here, we could get a here. I'll even see if I can find you an option of
Or
one.
just for the wheel, you make an indoor farmer thing that is so when it spins, it's just like more uniform. So when us people that have brain problems stare into it, we don't get bugged.
I got it. I got something for you here, Chris. What? How do I switch it back to? Uh, so I think what you're talking about. I'm sitting here doing this the long way, but it's okay.
It just bugs my brain. Like when I plant a seed, I have to have it in the exact center of the pot. It's like I'll measure it seriously. It's harder with fabric pods.
Something like this, Chris,
yeah,
or like maybe like this. I don't think you can put a video
yeah,
in
that'd
there.
be cool too.
Can't really put a video in there, but that something like that in the middle, or maybe
Yeah, something that's a central thing because when you have like an icon or something, when it spins, it's like uneven, and some people like myself, their brains will go like this. I don't know if you can see me doing this, but
yeah, I
this is what
see
my brain
you. I
does.
see you. So I'm trying to find a good swirl. A good swirl. Is that better? No. Well, I guess no. But you get the idea. Put something like that in the middle. Well, here we go. Like this, something like this. Here we go. That's what I'm looking.
Yeah, I've said that on multiple lives I swing in. I'm like, you should put an eyeball there, or I just meant something that was, you know.
I know what you mean. I got you. I mean, eyeball would work as well.
An eyeball just sounds cooler.
I mean, eyeball around an eyeball around Halloween, I guess.
I need to get a new tent, Waylon. Like another tent. They should tell you when you buy a tent, you should just get two. That should be like in the instructions. Like as
Why?
soon as you go on any site and you go and get a tent, it should say buy two.
I don't know about it. I feel like you should just realize that some, depending on the price, it's it's probably not going to be.
Yeah, I know. I have to ninja that shit, and then everything is so expensive now. Holy
See, I need to flip this. It needs to be flipped. Can I flip it? Let's see what happens. Flip.
I have somebody that has like stuff for a 2x4, but I don't have lights for that. I have lights that I could have another one for a 4x4. Like another 4x4. That's what I have now. Then I'd have a veg and a flower if I wanted to try to breed. Because you can't grow outside here. I can hardly grow tomatoes anymore. With the past 3 years, the weather, like on the mountain, it's been horrible. I don't even know if like a strong rootless strain would survive outside.
Hey, what's up, Alan? Good evening, bro. Hope you had a good day. Did you do anything good? Did you get your Velcro taken care of for the hoop house?
Velcro.
All right, so I flipped it around. I don't know which way it's supposed to work, but
Kayla's macaroni and cheese, which I didn't have.
oh, I bet would have been nice. She does some. She's got some good meals. Did you cook it? Did you help cook anything, Kim?
Yeah,
Did you bring the ice or anything?
you're funny. I used to cook Thanksgiving dinners all the time.
Okay, I did not hallucinate that time. Your mouth moved, and then I heard the audio afterwards.
Sounds like a personal problem.
It was like
I hallucinate sometimes. I have to go in the hospital when that happens.
it was an old Japanese movie style audio lineup. It was like, oh, Godzilla.
What'd you do for Thanksgiving?
Me?
Yeah.
I was here. I went live earlier to hang out, and we hung out. We listened to music and stuff because we can do that on Rumble. I can't do that on all the sites that we're live right now. So follow us on Rumble.
You didn't go to your mom's?
No, I didn't have anything to bring her. She had some of the kids brought her some food.
Oh.
Um,
She didn't cook?
no, she can't really cook a lot right now.
Oh.
She could, but the chances of explosion with oxygen tanks going are a little higher than you want. So especially when you're trying to cook a huge dinner, some kind of big meal for family or whatever. I told her though, and obviously it's a little last minute, a little late now, but I told her, I was like, well, we could do like a potluck style, where everybody has to bring a dish, and then maybe you can make something but not have to do a lot of things.
Why is she on oxygen?
Huh?
Why is she on oxygen?
Why?
Yes.
Well, Kim, I mean, she could be watching right now. I don't know if she wants me talking about all that, but
My mom might have to go on oxygen. She has COPD.
COPD, and yeah, it's from years of smoking cigarettes.
Mm.
So
I had no idea.
Huh?
I didn't know she was sick.
My mom still smokes. It pisses me off.
Really? Wow. With COPD? Yeah. I tell you what, I mean, it's not...
It's a hard addiction to break.
It is.
It's a harder addiction than heroin.
Yeah.
It's like I after a brother of mine died from throat cancer from smoking, I quit smoking cigarettes. I started vaporizers, and then I started going down and down and down on the level. I'm like on the lowest level of when I'm smoking this. I'm on the lowest level of nicotine that you can have, and I build my own coils so it's not the crap that you buy in the stores. And then eventually I'm gonna stop this, but my mom just still smokes cigarettes. I tried to get her to try vaporizers and stuff like that, but she said it's not the same. She's used to the habit of the cigarette.
Well, the smoke inhalation, and let's be honest, not any better with cannabis. There are a lot of things that are better, like not having the chemicals and the tar and everything. Nicotine is nicotine's something that has been shown to have some benefits. So people are actually taking nicotine patches that don't smoke cigarettes now, just for the nicotine benefits. So that one's an iffy one. But all the other stuff, the chemicals and the tar and everything. And so when it comes to cannabis and all the legalization and the regulation and everything, you have a lot of these companies that will still put out a garbage product and put out something that's still harmful to us, even in the cannabis world. So
full of freaking toxins and pesticides.
It's why I feel like it's good to know your bud tenders. Like, I don't go to the dispensary often, but there are people I know there that they'll give me, okay, this is this, and this is this, and this is what happening with this. Like, they'll tell me what's going on.
So once cannabis is legalized, you're going to have these companies like the cigarette manufacturers, like
Mhm.
Arden and whoever else, that are going to come in and they're going to standardize things. And I have a
For
feeling that
them.
a lot
Yeah.
of the bud tender stuff is going to go by the wayside.
Okay,
Wait,
this is what I think.
go ahead.
I have conspiracy theories, but I think the government is going to come in, they're going to fund people, and they're going to push out the home grower. They're going to make laws so the home grower can't grow. And then
Well,
the
yeah, but they
government is going to
can't
have a
regulate. You can't
monopoly.
regulate what people are growing at home, and you can't.
Yeah, I think they're going to they'll legalize it, but they're going to have a monopoly where only they have their weed, and then they can do whatever they want to it. They can put shit in it. They can have poisons, chemicals, pesticides, because they'll have the monopoly because they would have set it up. So no one, unless you're doing it illegally, no one can stand up to them. No one can have their own business because they would make it too expensive or illegal to do. That's what I think that they're going to try to do. I really do.
Well, I was having a conversation with my son today. My son and I talk politics a lot, and we're on the verge of a civil war, and if we don't have a civil war by some small margin of a chance in the next 10 years ish, we're looking at some kind of revolutionary thing happening because people are sick and tired of this bullshit. They're sick and tired of the shadow government shit, sick and tired of all the bullshit going on.
See,
And I've said it, I've been saying this for at least 15 years that society is going to reset. I just,
That's a natural cycle.
well, natural cycle or not, I've been saying this because I've been sitting here watching things. And, I just, the people that I talk to about this stuff, I've said, I just don't want it to be in my lifetime because it's going to be ugly.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But watching it play out,
I mean, I hope people are smart enough to realize that some people in power are putting us against each other, so we don't
people
see
are
what they're
not
doing.
smart enough to see that. By and large, people are fucking idiots. That's
It's
why
like they
we're
don't
so
see what's
divided.
going
That's
on in
why
the other
we're so
hand.
fucking divided right now because people are fucking idiots. They don't want to go out. They want to be fed. They want to buy into whatever persona it is that fits into their little box. And then they hang on to those words, and it's happening on both sides of the aisle.
Yep.
There's no smarts to it. They're not fucking going out there finding the truth of stuff.
That's
You
what I tell people all the
know,
time. They're like, "Well, what side are you on?" And I'm said, I try to go for common sense. Really, I try to go for common
common
sense.
sense has to be common, dude. People are not well educated anymore. Social studies education in this country has gone down that I know of the last 20 years. People don't value social studies education. Why should I have to take a history class? This doesn't have anything to do with anything that I need to know about. Well, motherfucker, you do need to know about it because history repeats itself. It's a never ending cycle. And I guarantee you, there's no goddamn idea under the sun that is new. Everything that's old, that is new, is old. I'm telling you, there's very few people that even have original thoughts. You think you're the only one that thinks about time travel? Hell no. Even Einstein, everybody accredits a lot of that stuff to Einstein. Well, I promise you that those ideas of his related to that stuff were ideas that were circulating out there amongst other people long before Einstein ever came around. God knows how old those ideas are, but people are like, oh, Einstein, he thought, that's like, fuck that shit. All of these guys, it's like they build on knowledge that's ancient, that's been around for a very long time. It's just that the technology wasn't developed enough to do anything about it. And as we develop that technology, then we have the ability to do more and more things about it. And that's the way with everything.
They're finding stuff in the pyramids in Egypt now with coils that were meant to generate electricity. That's in Egyptian times. Like in the Great Pyramids, they found these rods, these crystal rods that I think it was like go down a half mile, and they're all wrapped in copper. And so they used them for some electrical power generator, and they're starting to find other ones. They had that technology then.
Well, we don't attribute intelligence outside of our own experience, our own history, and that's probably one of the saddest things, in my opinion, that happened after the Roman Empire fell. There was a very healthy, there was a lot of healthy knowledge bases out there. And when the Roman Empire fell, because there was no money to keep all of that stuff going, it all just kind of died, or it pretty much died. Or it was scattered to these very remote places where what we now know as Europe didn't have access to that stuff anymore, that information anymore, because people were too busy eking out livings. Like there was a period of, I don't know, hundreds of years where there was nothing but civil war, constant civil war. Those people lived in civil war constantly in those areas that the Romans once held, and had a stable government that ran all that shit. All of that stuff went. Yeah. With it went intelligence, went education, went, all of those flourishing things that you see in a society that has a stable government.
And I'm afraid we're going to end up like Rome, because Rome made itself out from the inside.
We're headed right straight back to all of that shit. We're going to see another dark age.
Okay, it's called the fourth turning. Every 80 years or so, it's the fourth turning.
Oh, no, this is not going to be anything compared to what happened to us 80 years ago. We are going to...
You don't think the Great Depression could be...
Oh, hell no. Go back and study the Dark Ages. Go back and study the fall of Rome and study the Dark Ages.
There was decimation and famine and...
something apocalyptic, which is what the Dark Ages was. It was apocalyptic.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when you look at the way that our crops are being grown in a majority of places, and when you have these sort of like locust plagues and these dust bowls where the crops, like, because the soil has no life in it anymore, and so it gets so dry once the crop has been harvested that
the dust
you
bowl.
Just have this dust bowl. And so when you think about the black plague, there was a lot of famine because a lot of food wouldn't grow, and there was a lot of problems with food and being able to keep people alive. And obviously there was the plague and different things, which is also coming back because we have high populations of homeless encampments. That is actually bringing back things like the plague, the bubonic plague.
You have people that aren't getting vaccinated for things that killed people back in those days, so we're going to start getting overrun by disease and pestilence. It's like ignorance is starting to return and it's being celebrated.
Okay, but there can be two things.
I am.
Those can be two things. We're not getting vaccinated, but we're also there's a good possibility we're also not receiving good vaccinations either. Those two things can be both true. Can you give me that? That yes, maybe it'd be better.
Not receiving
What I mean is a true vaccine, a real like the real vaccine might be beneficial. And I say might because there's a lot of evidence now to show that, like, even the polio vaccine didn't actually do anything. Polio was almost gone by the time they were using the vaccine. But that's controversial. But my point is, if they had, what you might say, the original way to make a vaccine, then that might be beneficial. But now, today, these cocktails that they're putting together and this list that they keep making longer and longer and longer, a company can make a lot of money. It's very lucrative to make a vaccine for something. You come up with something and say, oh, we have a vaccine for it, and you come up with the thing and then have the cure for it, and then you can do that because the vaccines are allowed to be, I forget the exact terminology, but they don't get in trouble for any, they can't be sued for the backlash, just like the COVID vaccine. They can't be sued for any kind of vaccine injury or anything like that. So that's a very lucrative business to come up with something that you can't get in trouble for messing it up, for having any, yeah.
It's like being a weatherman.
Yeah, that's just like being a weatherman.
Any kind of medication you take, there's always going to be people that have, there's always going to be subsets of people out there that are going to have bad reactions to it or whatever.
Yeah, but a lot of companies can be sued for those things if there's enough people, like class action lawsuits and stuff, and you cannot sue a vaccine company for vaccine.
I had a nurse tell me not to take.
I don't know enough about that part of the law. I've never been I don't know very much about like medical malpractice kinds of law, because I've just, that's not my area of study. And
hey, Randy.
It's complex and convoluted, but, so I can't comment on that, and I don't follow that kind of stuff. The only thing that I know is that, when it comes to vaccines, or any kind of medication for that matter, there's always going to be people that do not react well to it. Every single person's body is a chemistry experiment. Yes, we're all humans.
I agree. That's why there should be a mandate for everyone to take it. That's why there shouldn't be a mandate for it. Shouldn't have been people calling for people to be fired, calling for people to be jailed, and wishing that they would die.
Water under the bridge, it's spilt milk, and it doesn't make anybody to sit there and discuss it anymore.
It's going to happen again, Kim. It's not spilt milk. You just said history. You just said history repeats, and we should learn about it. Now you're saying, forget it. It's in the past. Let's not listen.
It is. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it other than bitch and complain? Don't bitch and complain.
I'm not bitching and complaining.
Make sure that our government does right by us or whatever. That's where you go with it. But to bitch and complain about it is bitching and complaining about it.
I am making sure that I keep abreast of the history of the matter, so that I don't let people, try to bully me into doing things in the future that are like that shouldn't be, forced on anybody. Things like that, or just like the opposite, which is the people that think that we're going to force babies on them. Which, I'm sorry, but once you get dwindled down to a few 100,000 people, that kind of stuff will happen. There'll be warlords and dictators, and they'll be, baby camps, and they'll be like, yeah, that stuff will happen if we don't get it together in some way. Which, like you said, Kim, I'm not disagreeing with the fact that this is all coming to a head. I think it can happen in a way that happens to a lot of other countries. Look at like the collapse of Greece, or like the French Revolution. Like, they're bloody and they're terrible, but then the country's still there. Some other people are in charge. It's not like it will turn into a different, like, it's not gonna go away. Like, it's not gonna just disappear off the map. Like the
Yeah, but the thing is that
we'll still
the
be
thing
here.
is that when you look at what caused the French Revolution, you had despot monarchs
Yeah,
that
we do too.
were horrible, and people didn't have any rights back then. We don't have that fucking problem now. Those ideas
Kind
of
of do.
democracy. Wait a minute. Those ideas of democracy were what fueled the French Revolution. The same as what fueled the revolution here in the colonies, and what became the United States,
But
were
you
all
can.
of those ideas and those philosophies. We have the opportunity to turn that shit around. But people are so fucking divided. They're so pro-Trump or pro whatever the fuck is going on with the Democratic Party
Which is
that
what, I don't know.
they don't sit there and they don't look at the fact that they're being fucking manipulated by these clowns up here, these multi-million-dollar corporations, or who the fuck ever is out there that's doing all this shit. They don't look at that. They don't look at the fact that Trump. I was sitting there today. Who was it? Somebody at the dinner table was saying something about Trump. And I said, Trump ain't shit. That motherfucker is a puppet for whoever it is that funded him. Whoever is behind all the politics that is coming out of his administration. You think that's Trump shit? It is not. Everything that he has been enacting, if you go and you look at the tenets of Project 2025, that's where that came from. Go look at who wrote 2025. Go look at the money behind Project 2025, and you will find who it is that has effectually put Trump into the position that he's in to carry this shit out.
Who was it?
Sure.
You did the
Heritage Foundation is one of them. There's a bunch of them. But the Heritage Foundation is the one that put out the Project 2025, and the Heritage Foundation is a collective of a bunch of Christian and
I just watched
and all kinds of stuff.
I just watched a podcast with the guy who wrote Project 2025, and he said that Trump has done about 80% of what they were looking for.
Yeah, you think that he isn't trying to push through all of that shit? I'm telling you, like, some of it isn't going to get through. I don't know.
Yeah, but the way that you're saying it sounds really bad, but you can also say the exact same thing by saying, oh, he's got a lot of constituents, and there's some pretty big groups that have donated, and he's trying to do the best he can to put through what he said he would do in the campaigning on those things, those ideals, whatever they are. You could say they're from a Project 2025, but mostly conservative ideals. You could say that two different ways. Like, one way is, oh my gosh, people that put him in office want him to do things that they want, that he said he would do when he was going into office. Like, there's different ways to look at that, and I would say, yeah, there's probably a bunch of big groups of people that gave him money, and probably both sides, and they probably have things that they agreed would say, okay, we agree that this on this.
All parties that get elected, regardless of what office you run for, whether it's mayor, governor, senator, whatever, you pander to your base.
Exactly. That's who the base
but
is.
He doesn't, these are not, his agenda is not his agenda. His agenda is coming from.
That's his base, conservative agenda.
It doesn't, no, it's not conservative.
Has anybody ever?
Let me tell you something. I am
She's going there.
I am a conservative, and I have been a conservative my whole voting. Like I used to vote a strict conservative platform, okay, because those were my values. The Conservative Party is not the same Conservative Party, but
It's
people are
not a.
still loyal because they've been conservatives all their life. They're still loyal and they're still voting conservative
Not
because
just because of that, because there isn't an option that's better, more conservative. There isn't another option. It's better. That's more conservative. You voted for
there are
the
a
side
lot of
who's
people.
way less conservative. You went, this side's not a conservative anymore, so let me vote for the side who's way less conservative than this side. Like that's the logic you're going by there. Like you went the way opposite direction. You went to the side who hisses when you say I'll pray for you, the people who block you when you say, Jesus loves you, and things like that. Those are the people that you went to vote for because you said the side that you typically vote for is not conservative anymore.
There
Like
is
that
no
logic
way
doesn't.
I will ever support Donald Trump. The man is a child rapist. It's been known for a very long
That wasn't even coming out until after Joe
time.
Biden was being accused of it.
Honey, I've known this shit about him since the late '80s. I have family members that are commensurate in wealth and travel in the same circles as Donald Trump, and I know from sitting listening to them, this man is a disgusting human. And you keep saying prove it. I don't have any fucking way to prove it. The man pays off people to hide behind all kinds of shit. He's a
But
disgusting
but
human.
I
I
didn't say that.
will never, in good
I didn't say
conscience,
that.
vote for. Yes, you have.
I
I
did.
will
I
never.
have, but not in this conversation. My point now it has nothing to do with who Donald Trump is. My point is, because you don't like him so much, you went so
I
far
will
the other
never, in
direction.
good conscience, vote for somebody like that. I cannot do it.
That's. I mean, I
I
get it.
will throw my
He's.
vote, which is what I did the first time. I
He's.
voted for John Kasich. I did a write-in ballot kind of a thing and voted
Yeah. I
John
mean, why
Kasich.
not? Why didn't you throw your vote instead of you voted? But you voted for Biden, didn't you?
The first time Donald Trump ran, I couldn't vote for Hillary. I voted for John Kasich.
Okay. And then
And the second time, yes, I voted for Biden because there was no way I
you
was
think
voting for.
Biden's conservative at
I
least?
don't give a fuck. He's not a
Which one's
fucking.
more conservative?
I don't care. At that point, my conservative
That's
values
all
didn't
right.
matter to me. It was morals.
We're just getting down to the
Disgusting,
truth of the
fucking
matter. All right.
disgusting pig. I'm not voting for a motherfucker like that.
My thing with Trump was he has so many businesses that went under and he declared bankruptcy and then
Five
you just want to
times.
give him the keys to the country. Like
Yeah,
I
but
don't think somebody.
you got to look into that more, Chris. He's had dozens of businesses and he's bankrupted five of them. Like there's actually some nuance to that whole talking point.
And he has properties in Russia, which he was accusing other people for working with in Russia.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he has Trump Towers in Russia.
yeah. I mean, he definitely does, but also there are
I mean, I
politicians
know
that were
every
saying,
politician will spin everything, but
yeah, but
he's.
some of them that were accusing him were literally people like Bernie Sanders who was honeymooning in Russia and was literally that had that video of him saying bread lines are a great thing. Like it's great because then people are all in one place waiting for bread, or I forget how he put it, but
I didn't see that
like
one, but like I think Bernie, I think somebody got to
Bernie's
him,
connected to
man.
Russia too, and he's been a politician for way longer. So there's
I
like
think somebody got to him.
when you weigh the scales against these politicians who have been in office or some office for like 50 years, a lot of them, a lot of his biggest enemies in politics. These people are there's people there's no one that's more in the pocket of people than some of these politicians on both sides. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
disgusting. But my son and I were talking about it, and he's like, "Well, there needs to be
right?
term limits," and he sees things going this kind of the same way on, just
Rose come
Facebook
up.
and I don't know whatever, but I don't know, like some of the things that he was saying, like he says there needs to be universal health care. And I told him, I said, I don't agree with universal health care. I think that everybody does need health care, but I don't believe in universal health care. I said, you go to these European countries that have it, and like there's a lot of problems, and there's a reason why, these wealthy people that have, that live in countries that have universal health care, there's a reason why they come to the United States for treatment, because universal health care kills innovation. So there's like, I don't know, like there's things that I just don't agree with him on that stuff,
Did
because
you
he
see how
As
he's for visas and bringing in more H1Ns and uh, no, he's
what.
turning. Did you see where he's turned around and said he's for bringing more foreign labor in through H1N visas or whatever?
Who?
Trump.
Well, hell yeah, because nobody fucking is gonna go out there and pick those crops.
What?
White
No,
people
no,
ain't gonna
you
do that
don't know.
shit.
These are not H1N visa people. Don't come here to pick crops. That's not those.
Oh,
Those
well,
aren't
I
the
don't know.
same
I don't know
people.
what each one. I don't know what the. I don't pay attention to
No,
that.
people will pick crops because people have to eat, and there are people that don't have are unemployed or have uh, you know reason to be working more.
Oh
There's
boy, you live in a fantasy with that one, buddy.
you're telling me there's not a lot of people in this country that are kind of like without not just employment but without like a I don't know. I guess career would be, but the employment is the big thing. There's a higher rate of unemployment, and then that unemployment numbers are skewed because they don't take into account the number of people who are just not trying to get employed. They only show the number of people who are out there applying for jobs.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people
So
that fall off the rolls.
right,
I,
and so those
I know. I
people,
know. I
like,
know. I
look,
work in government. I know all that shit.
I'm
But
just saying, when you're hungry, you'll eat almost anything. You'll eat dirt, like so. If you'll do that,
no, you
you'll go
won't.
and pick
Because
it.
what's going to happen in this country is because we have too many fucking entitled, privileged people that are just not going to do that kind of work, at least not in the current economic setup that we have. Maybe if we go back to something like the Depression kind of era or something like that, people are fucking going to
We're in
start
a
killing
recession.
each other for their
Yeah,
food and stealing
yeah.
them.
No, that will for sure happen. I'm just saying, like anyone
They
who gets
people
the,
are Waylon. People are not going to get out there. Have you come out here and pick cabbage? Come out here and pick chili.
I
This
already
is
told
not
you
what we have
I
here.
wouldn't have lived
Come
there
out
as
here
long as
and pick
you
onion,
have.
and you tell me how your body is going to sustain doing that.
If I lived there my whole life, it'd be different. But I've already told you that if I lived where you lived, I would have moved a long time ago. Like I wouldn't live in the desert or
I'm
deserty
not
area.
even talking about the desert. I'm talking about the kind of crops that we grow here. Come here and pick those. It's
What?
damn
Just the
hard
crops in
labor.
general?
Huh?
Just the crops in general?
Yeah, no, the kind of crops we have here. I don't know what it's like to pick corn because I've never done that. But I know the crops that we grow here, we grow cabbage.
Corn's picked by machine.
What?
Corn's picked by machine.
Yeah, see, a lot of the crops that we grow here, you can't pick by machine.
But you know what's
A
not
lot of
done
the
by
crops
machine?
that are grown, period, you can't pick grapes by machine.
Uh
You
huh.
can't pick chili by. There's a lot of crops that are grown that you have to pick by hand, and I'm telling
I
you,
know.
it is really hard labor, and Americans will, by
I
and large,
detasseled for 4 years, and that is not easy labor. Kids that are allowed to do that kind of work are actually, a lot of times jump at that kind of chance to make some extra money. $8 an hour I was making at that time to pick tassels. That was huge money for a kid in like high school, and um,
try sustaining a family on that. Try doing
that's
that
not
day
that's
in
not
and
my
day
point
out.
though, Kim. So a lot of
Try
places are
doing
raising their
that.
minimum wage too high. They're pricing out young people from the workplace. If the minimum wage is too high, the only people that the company is going to hire are people that are already already
Well, that may be
graduated,
true in
already
most
have.
industries, but that's not
It
the case.
is.
And that may be the case in most industries, but not in agriculture. Agriculture is one of the very few industries that I'm aware of, like maybe being a waitress or something like that, is there's very few industries, and agriculture is one of them where you do not have to pay minimum wage to your laborers.
Right. I mean, okay, so that's a good point, but there
So
is
you're
the
not
issue
getting
with.
priced out there. There's nobody getting priced out there. It's people cannot afford. One, they don't want to do that hard labor. I don't know what it's like to detassel corn. I don't know what
It's not
the
easy labor, that's for sure.
well, I don't know, but I was out picking
Alice
tomatoes
worked in
out
it.
of my garden today. I grew like 9 tomato plants, and I was trying to pick them because we're gonna have a freeze, and I left them on to ripen and whatever. And fucking being bent over, and I can only imagine because that's just 9 plants that I have that I'm picking shit off of. But being bent over like that for any length of time picking that shit, and you're under deadlines, you have to pick so many baskets or
That's
whatever
why I
it
said it's a labor for young people. It's not necessarily for people who are,
whatever.
you
It's
know,
fucking
near retirement.
hard. Yeah, and you aren't gonna get people that are out there on unemployment out there wanting to work in those fields because it's fucking hard on your body. And you don't get paid a whole lot. It's not easy. It's not like you're out there going, oh, look at this nice tomato. Okay, go in here. And you're like fucking hustling, dude. Like I've seen some of these people do work, and picking chili is like that. And you can't just grab that shit off. You can't just grab. I don't. They have like these little finger scissors or something that they snip these chili pods with to get them off.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, I mean, there's
But like
probably no
it's
perfect answer, but
I'm telling you, so they're gonna have to
so
do something
so my point though is that
to
no
pick the
matter what
crops. You're
you
not gonna get
right, but you're already you admitted that they paid less than minimum wage, meaning that there's already a s- scales unbalanced here because you have the fact that minimum wage I don't agree with in the first place because we have the internet now. We can put companies on blast that don't, that have some kind of, terrible
well, you
wages.
go ahead and you put these agricultural workers on blast and
Huh?
see
The
what
workers? What are you talking about?
happens.
That's not what I said.
So what happened? Do you know why McDonald's and all of these fast food places are so expensive now?
Because all the food is going up. That's a big reason. Transportation,
Well,
gas
that's
is
a little
costing
bit of
more.
the reason. The biggest jump in the pricing for like McDonald's and stuff like or for these fast food was because uh, some states have their own minimum wage. California is one of them,
Hmm.
but the minimum wage went up, and when it did, that's when you started seeing the price of food go up.
Hmm.
Okay, so what do you think is going to happen if they start paying these farm workers minimum wage? And don't get me wrong, and don't get it twisted, because I'm not sitting here saying that I necessarily support people being paid a low wage. Okay, because anybody, in my opinion, anybody that works as hard as some of these migrant people, they should be paid a lot more. But the crux of the matter, because I've had this discussion with state senators, I've had them with federal senators, I've had them with, I used to work for a U.S. Congressman, work for a U.S. senator, and I have many friends that are in local politics and family members. You bump those prices for wages on food, everyday food items that we eat, you bump that up to a minimum wage, and we won't be able to afford to eat.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying to bump that up. I'm saying that the argument is that the minimum wage for everything else is okay, and we want it to be higher, higher, higher. But then for that one field, they're okay with leaving it
Well,
high.
yeah, but
So
the
so
reason that they're not, the reason that they don't
so
do anything about it is because it will raise the price of food.
Right. That's why I think it should be taken. The minimum wage should be taken off of everything. And the way that
Well,
the
but if you do that, then you've got all these fucking
company, the
multi-million
reason that
dollar
we had it was,
corporations
but that's
that'll
before we had
sit
the
there and
internet.
rape everybody,
That
rape
was
your labor
before we
force.
had the Better Business Bureau, before we had the internet, before we had the ability to
Better
say,
Business
look
Bureau
at what's
doesn't give
happened with
a shit.
Amazon. Look what's happened with Amazon with employees speaking up about like bad working conditions,
Yeah,
things like that.
because they have
The
unions
minimum
and
wage
stuff
didn't fix
now.
that. Minimum wage didn't keep them from having those conditions and these complaints. So my point is, people need to get better at being their own promoters at work, their own company. Each person is their own company. Promote yourself, be your own promoter, and also people need to get better at deciding, hey, uh, this company's not working out for me. In my spare time, I don't care if it's 5 minutes a day, look around with what other opportunities there might be out there. And hell, you may not find something before, say, you have to leave this company. Say you end up getting fired or you quit, you hate it so bad. Whatever the situation is, maybe you don't get it. But the best thing you can do is to be looking for something else while you're there at this
Well, yeah, that's
such a
anytime
terrible.
you
But
know, that's the thing
so many people don't do that, Kim. They get stuck. They get so sucked into what they're doing and their job, and they're so tired when they get home. They just want to not think about it, and so they don't
I
ever
think it's
find
more
something else.
fear. I think it's fear and
Fear too.
complacence.
Fear of a new place, a new thing, a new job, new people. It might be even worse at the next place. They might be lying about what they said at hire. Like, yeah, I get that, but if you don't just keep trying something else, these companies don't don't have to fix anything. Like, look at what happened in a department I was in at the hospital. I was in security, and I left to go to a better paying department in the hospital, and that department raised the pay by like $3 an hour after I right after I left, and I couldn't go right back. They're like, and the reason it wasn't because, oh, Waylon left for this raise the price, it's because they were getting a lot of turnover. A lot of people were coming and leaving because they weren't paying enough. It
Yeah.
was clear to them that it wasn't high enough pay, so they had to raise the pay, and I'm sure they got people that love it now. And so that's my point, is like, that's the nature of things. Like, they gotta figure out the price. Now, I'm not saying that every job you get is going to have a great wage, but that's up to us to go move around and stuff. Minimum wage didn't give us great wages. Trust me, every minimum wage job I had sucked. But the wages sucked. Chris, I know, what are you laughing at? I got to go let my dogs out, actually. But the pay sucked when it was called.
I just thought about you being a security guard and maybe like Van Damme spin kicking somebody.
I was bald too. I was like shaved bald, like fully smooth, shiny bald.
Like Mr. Clean.
Yeah, with a beard. Yep.
That picture just ran through my mind.
It's one time I had this guy who punched me in the head, but it was kind of like swung down like a big windmill kind of punch. And it just bounced right off like a cue ball.
Gotta be aerodynamic.
Yeah. It's nice and slippery. Anyway, we're getting into a lot of, hey, I guess that's the random conversation. That's where it goes. But that's why I want to know, Kim, what was your favorite dish?
I don't have favorite. I don't have favorites of anything.
Cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes. I had chili and peanut butter sandwiches.
What do you mean by chili?
Waylon, you jinxed
Like a bowl
me.
of
My
chili?
dog needs to go out. I'll be right back.
Well, my dog was kind of whining at me, so I had to.
Your chili and my chili are different.
This one was a can of. I happen to see this chili I'd never seen before. It's made by Jack Link's hickory chili.
You're talking about chili beans, right?
Chili with beans, yeah.
No, chili beans.
It's called chili
Well, if you come here to
with
New
beans.
Mexico, if you come to New Mexico
Uh-huh.
and you ask for chili, it's going to be something totally different than what you think.
A chili pepper?
It'll be no chili. Well, yeah, it's made of chili peppers, but it's like a sauce that you put on. I don't know. You use it in different things, like
It's got meat in it?
enchiladas, or well, it can. Like if you have enchiladas, if you have cheese enchiladas, it's the sauce in your enchiladas. If you have chili Colorado, it's that chili
That's why
sauce.
we call it chili with beans. It says it on the can.
I
Chili
mean,
with beans. So it's that sauce, but with beans. Chili with beans. Brought Mr. Sprout back with me. Oh, actually, we're getting close to 2 hours. We lost Kim. She was in the middle of talking. Well, what? We got over 10 people. What's going on with the... Oh, it looks like I have to come back, too. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey, there it is. Let's see what we got. Oh, crypto.com. Let's check it out. Let's be clear. Cryptocurrency is no longer emerging. It's here. And this latest move cements that reality in the biggest way yet. Trump Media Group just inked a massive $6.4 billion deal with Crypto.com, the world's top crypto platform. They're teaming up to scoop up $6.4 billion in CRO, the powerhouse taking that fuel fast. Taking that fuels fast. I'm sorry, token that fuels fast. Low fee, DeFi, staking rewards, and real world perks like cashback on your spends to launch America's first CRO treasury. When it's done, this new company will be the biggest CRO holder out there. Want in on the action? Head to crypto.com today and grab some CRO. Let's make crypto great again. Cool. Hey, thanks for the 66 cents from crypto.com. We're back. Alice, cheers. Would like to do one more bong here before we go. Mexican chili is way different than what we all eat. But yeah, I'm sure. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of chili too. We lost Kim. Is she coming back? You can still hear me, Chris? Oh no, Chris doesn't have this. Yeah, there he is.
Ugh, my
Right?
dog is so needy. It's
Guess
cold outside here.
Guess we all had to take a break at the same time.
Franklin, I just took you out, buddy. I don't have no
Oh, hey,
treats.
Margaret. All right, guys, let's get this wheel going here. Let's see it. Okay, I see some ladies on the Rumble already. Alice and Kayla. And we'll just say Kim and Chris for coming up, hanging out with me. Chris P. Got Alice again over on the Facebook side.
I think I did Facebook and Rumble.
Well, this is at the end. So what I do for the door prize is not just anybody that came throughout the show. It's people who are here right now. So if you want to go and comment, you can. But this is for everybody who can comment at the moment. I got Kayla and Margaret over on Facebook, and I will also include YouTube. Margaret on the YouTube, on the Rumble. For a little while, I'm gonna include YouTube. If you find us over on YouTube at the Indoor Farmer 67 something. Can I open one of these without?
We got Margaret and Alice. What's up?
Here's
Kayla,
this.
I know you made food that would, best way to a man's heart.
By the way, this is not me on YouTube. This is some other indoor farmer. Mine is called at the Indoor
legal?
Farmer 6706. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been paid to copyright claim it. 6706 at the Indoor Farmer 6706 on YouTube.
I think I'm gonna copyright Big Daddy. Then everybody owes me money.
Diane.
Oh,
Debbie.
I didn't think of that one.
You know, it depends. I don't know. There's probably some rules around it. Call in. Hey, Kim's back.
Electricity went off.
I had to restart or refresh, take the dogs out. Chris had to take his dogs out, and your electricity went off on you all about the same time. That's funny.
Mine went off yesterday in the middle of like my light cycle because we have snow here already, and the winds, we have like powerful winds, and it just took down everything.
Yeah, you guys had a nasty system come through.
Nasty. I had some nasty gossipers talking about me. You know what? If you're not doing nothing, or if no one's talking about you, you ain't doing nothing.
Well, and who is that?
It's
I
like
can
this
hear
new-
your imaginary friend.
You hear Sprout?
Who's talking in the background?
Nobody's talking in the background. What are you talking about? I got Sprout over here chewing on a bone.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Okay, who we got? We got Margaret and Alice on the YouTube.
I think I'm picking up somebody else's signal on my headphones.
Maybe.
You know, sometimes you get like a weird signal. Did you guys ever get that? Just like a radio signal?
You better get that tinfoil out.
Is it talking to you? That's one thing you got to worry about. Is it talking to you?
No, it was just like words, and there was like another person, and I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" I don't know. Every once in a while, when I'm on the headphones, it picks up signals from like truck drivers and CVs and stuff like that.
Who's gossiping about
I don't know what.
Oh, nobody. I'm not gonna return the gossip, but I'm just saying. You know, it's good. It's good to hear people talking about me, I guess.
I'm starting to block people that cause that kind of drama. It's like, I don't need that.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Margaret. That's the YouTube channel right there. Alan, I'm going to put you on here.
Just tell them you're not 15 inches, you're only 10. Settle it all once and for all. Oh my.
What's the topic for next week?
You're silly.
Waylon,
Yes.
what is the topic for next week?
Um, I was gonna do defamation of character, but then I thought we kind of talked about. Um, I forget what the topic title was exactly, but we talked about like people like trying to ruin our reputation or something. I forgot how we talked about it. It's almost the same similar topic, so I was worried about that, but defamation of character was going to be one because who hasn't had somebody talk some gossip about them,
Yeah, Waylon. Yep. Hmm.
right? So that one could be a good topic. You just keep in mind like there are tactful ways to talk about these things without necessarily having to throw a bunch of other people's names out there, but at the same time,
Agreed.
if it happens, it
Agreed.
happens. That's just how I feel about it. Like I don't want to tell you guys. I don't want to tell all you guys, hey, I really don't like this person because they don't like me and they're causing me problems.
Exactly,
So,
because if
so
you do that, you're kind of doing the same thing
mhm,
that they
exactly.
caused.
And I don't want to be like, hey, I don't want you guys to be friends with that person or whatever. Like that's just not
Yeah,
how I do things.
yeah, exactly. I never did, like, even with the people that I truly hate, like my mom's husband. Like, I don't say, hey, don't be friends with him because I don't like him. It's like, I don't like him. If you like, that's fine. But I don't expect me to fucking, yeah.
Well, what do you
So
think,
I'd
Kim?
never ask anybody to not like somebody unless it was like in a situation where it was like say a child molester or something like that, like an extreme. I wouldn't expect anybody not to like somebody because I didn't like them.
Any thoughts on the topic, Kim, or maybe a different topic? It'll be
Um,
it'll be next month, so I'm sure we'll do some kind of winter Christmas topic, maybe. I don't know. That sounds kind of boring to do
Christmas.
that every year, but
I want to ride with Krampus. I hate Christmas. Everything's crowded. Nothing's open.
we could do like a
Sharon,
we could do like a if we talk about Christmas stuff, we should talk about like people that have to serve during the holidays. And I don't necessarily mean like military people, but law enforcement, firefighters.
essential businesses, we could say something like that. Essential workers during holidays and other times.
Yeah,
Margaret, Margaret Jett. See, look at that karma coming back. Margaret's one of the only two people that went over to YouTube. She's also one of the only people. She's the only person that tagged or shared the YouTube link in the Facebook comments. Um, oh, hey Debbie, I'm sorry. I just saw you made it to YouTube. Missed it by just a little bit. I had it sitting up there for a while, so I thought it was time to spin. But
a friend of mine that was stationed overseas like a few years ago sent me a picture. Like they had a Christmas tree, and instead of Christmas bulbs, there were fucking grenades hanging there.
nice.
They're there. They wish they could be home.
that sounds like something my grandson would put on the Christmas tree.
Something
He has to,
festive
These
tree.
are like
he's only
these are
10.
some
Oh, 10.
I think Marine Recon. But they were back at the base and they had this Christmas tree, and you just see they sent me a picture, and it was just like grenades hanging in the tree. I was like,
You have to understand the twisted dark humor of military people.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandson, he's all like, oh my God. He's so hard to buy for because everything that you could possibly get in his interest has already been gotten. So he likes army stuff, you know, he likes guns. He's only 10 and he's not allowed to have any of that real stuff, you know, because he's too young. And plus, I don't know that he ever really needs to have access to anything like that anyway, because he's got quite a psycho little temper when he gets mad. But anyway, I could see him totally like putting a tree in his bedroom that's decorated with fucking grenades. He asked me for a grenade launcher for Christmas. Uh-oh. Did wait.
You can get a grenade launcher in Texas, I'm pretty sure.
Not a. I'm not getting him a real one. He wants a toy one. He
Okay.
wants a. What did he call it?
My audio's good.
Yeah.
Accidentally, I was putting the notebook away and tapped the power button by accident on my computer, and it asked if I wanted. Luckily, it gave me the, "Are you sure you want to close this many of these programs or whatever?" It's like, no. I had to reopen one, but anyway, we're here. So congrats, Margaret. Margaret, you have 60. You now have 60 Indoor Farmer coupons. 60. Do you want one, Rose? What do you want? What was she talking about? Was something that Kim was talking about, maybe? She says, I want one in the chat.
So Bubba my grandson wants a dart gun with a grenade launcher on it.
Oh.
Yes, get him it.
What's the grenade launcher part?
What's the grenade launcher part?
Yeah, like from like a CS4 or CS3.
At least get him a dart gun.
No, I found it on Amazon though. It's a toy.
You want the launcher, Rose? Okay.
No, get him a real dart gun. It's a learning experience.
No. Nope.
Kids
Nope.
in Indonesia learn how to use it when they're 5.
That's not the kind of dart gun he wants.
Yeah, but once he gets this one, he finds out he gets shoot spikes and shit. He will love it. You will be number one.
We don't want him having anything like that.
Alice wants me to explain the contest that I have going on, and I would really like to see some people get in on it, but it looks like it may not happen now.
You have a contest?
Yeah, $150 I'm trying to give away. And
oh yeah, for the Christmas the living room.
For you know what, I can do what I'm going to do for next week's or next month's game.
That's what he wants.
There's a dart shooter there too,
I guess.
Oh, like the way you shoot it. I think the sight maybe is similar to a dart.
I don't know.
I've seen a dart gun. My friend had a dart gun, like it's a long, skinny.
Get him a blowgun. Get him a blowgun.
That was what it was. It was a blowgun.
Ever.
Yes, Chris, that's what it was. It was a blowgun that he had.
I'm not
get him a blowgun.
I'm not getting him anything that's real.
Get him a blowgun.
But let me just explain the contest again. So I just want to tell you that I could do what I'm planning to do without anybody's pictures. I just thought it would be a fun thing, a fun way to get some more members, not monetary members, but free members on locals, and also to let people show off their Christmas decoration setups that they like to show off anyway. Like Kim, I already saw you showing yours, and I know a lot of people will put up pictures of their setup. So I'm like, you know what? Why not get people involved in a little contest and give away something?
I'm not finished with my shit yet, so.
Well, that's okay.
I don't do holidays. It's just.
Well, that's okay. Don't. Look, I don't expect everyone to tell me why they're not going to get into it. But what is kind of
I could take a picture of like a table setup.
I'm talking right in the middle. Let me talk.
Oh,
you
sorry.
gotta try and If I want you to come up more, but we got to get you to work it into this pauses. If I pause long enough, it's my bad. I just let you go. But if I'm in the middle of talking, give me a minute. So,
All
so,
right. I'm
so
sorry.
what I
Waylon,
was
you're
trying to
spelling.
say a little bit. What I was trying to say is I am not worried that if you can or can't do it. I just really thought there would be more people interested in that kind of a prize. Plus the fact
Well,
that
it's kind of early still, too. Most
I
people don't decorate until after Thanksgiving.
I would have said the same thing if I didn't go trying to get decorations at the store and seeing nothing but Christmas decorations. Like at most stores, I found I think Hobby Lobby had the biggest selection of like actual fall decorations. So okay, so to your point, like yeah, I didn't realize that maybe not as many people as are up yet, but there's plenty of people who do have them up yet already. Plenty of pictures I've seen already, and so I was surprised. Maybe I need to wait a little bit longer, but I'm gonna have to make it myself for the first week at least. In which case, just do I not make the do I not worry about the prize and maybe just try and get people to do it anyway? I thought it would be fun. Maybe no, I told you no before already. You had a chance to have a drink. Anyway, I just thought it'd be a fun thing and a way to try and give people back a little bit of holiday cheer, a little bit of extra
Well, yeah,
spending
but
cash
like
for the
I said,
holiday.
a lot of people aren't decorating this early.
It's
I did
11:27.
because, like, I'm just like my life is. I need cheer in my life, so I started doing it to make myself feel better because Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Well, okay, then okay, let me back up then.
So,
Well, I'll give you that. I'll say, all right, maybe a lot of people aren't decorated, but people could have commented on that post and saying, "Hey, I plan on it. I'm just when I decorate, I'm gonna get let you know." And then I have to follow up. I think Sheena sent me pictures. I don't know if those are officially pictures that she wanted in the contest, but she didn't send me like the second one. And what I think I could do if I had to for some people if they really can't do the part where they got to take the same picture but with some stuff moved around. They can't do that second part. I'm sure AI could do that for me. I could tell AI, hey, take this picture and move it maybe like I don't know. I could do that part, I guess, but I don't want to have to do that for everybody's. I think it should be pretty simple and actually kind of fun for you to be like, okay, what should we move around? Like okay, we'll move around the teddy bear and the ornaments and maybe this the freaking elf on a shelf or something. Cheers. We just
I can
passed the
talk now. You paused. You paused.
yes.
You paused. Some people don't decorate for Christmas. They don't celebrate Christmas. I was wondering if
True.
it was just Christmas decorations or if it was the one picture and then having another picture with different items out. I didn't know,
Um.
like, because I could take a picture of different stuff, but I don't decorate. I don't celebrate Christmas.
Well, to that point, the people who celebrate Christmas are the ones who are like probably. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are hurting for different reasons, but people who are also trying to get presents for their kids, or whatever, those are the ones usually celebrating. A single person usually isn't the one celebrating. Some people do, I guess. I guess Kim is gonna put up her decorations. I guess so. That's a moot point. I was just thinking maybe families that maybe could use a few extra bucks for Christmas time. Yeah, that's
Okay.
a good point though, Chris. That's a good point. If you're not decorating, then you could probably still
Because just for the game of it, like just take a picture of one thing or other. But I didn't know if you were looking
we
for
could do that
the whole
again.
holiday thing or if you
Yeah.
were just looking for the game.
Well,
That's
it's
what I was
December's
wondering.
game idea, so I thought holiday. Thought maybe make sure it's Christmas. So that was the whole reasoning behind it. But you're making a good point there. I think at the very least we could play this game again without a Christmas theme, because it's not like we haven't played the same game before, but a little bit different. We call it a what's the difference game. What's the
Yeah, yeah.
difference? So you have two pictures side by side, very similar, basically the same picture, but some items moved around. We've all
Now I'm
played it.
thinking about how I'm gonna get 4 prostitutes here.
Tell them to move around. But that's it. That's the whole thing. I see it. Did you receive my pictures? Alice, I will have to look.
Alice is sending you pictures.
Yeah.
When?
Oh yeah, hashtag ladies of WTIF, man. Aha, here's my pictures with what was moved. Okay. I'm not going to pull it up to show you guys, but so Alice did get in on it. Okay, cool. I was going to have get two people to be judges with me to help judge the pictures to see what should be showcased, but I might not get that many, so we might just showcase them all, and then every one of them gets put in on the drawing. It's not going to be judging us to say who the best one is. But if I had a flood of them, or a bunch of them, I was going to have judges help be able to cut some of them out that are really not good, like very hard to figure out what was moved, or things like that. But instead, I'll probably end up with less than I thought, so I'll just put them all in, unless it's bad enough that I say no, we'll take that one out. All right, I'm just gonna clean this up here, and we'll probably wrap it up.
Waylon, have you ever thought of doing like Kundo, like sword style martial arts, like samurai shit?
No? What about fencing?
Yeah, like your frame, your shoulders. It's like you'd have a lot of power, like with a sword, like just going down through. Like I did it for a little bit, but yeah, dude, like how you're built, you'd have a lot of power.
I do have a lot of power, Chris.
Turd.
You know what? I do have a lot of power. Well, it's been a fun little chit chat. Thanks for chilling with us, you guys.
So what are we talking about next week?
So, well, that's why I was asking. What if you have any qualms about it? Defamation of character.
Okay. I don't care. Not really. No qualms.
Like, it's something that I feel like could, like, I try to walk the tightrope between spicy topics and engaging topics, but also stuff we haven't talked about, things that are maybe topical, like something going on in the world at that time that we should talk about, or and then of course the current event episodes, which I still like to do. So I just think this one will get, huh?
Speaking of current events, like, did you see where that one Army National Guard person that was shot yesterday died?
No.
Yeah, it was a lady, 20-year-old.
She was shot yesterday. What's the
You
deal?
didn't hear about the shooting?
I don't think so.
2 National Guard troops were shot in Washington, D.C. yesterday.
Do you know any other details?
Yeah, by some guy from Afghanistan. I don't know. He had just recently been granted, I think, granted a visa or something. I don't know. Um, I've been busy, so I haven't really paid that much attention to all those little details, but I don't know if they've got the motive for why he shot them just yet. But yeah, like it was crazy. Like it was near the White House. It put everything on lockdown. He was shot and hospitalized after he shot those two. But from what I heard, both of them were headshots.
Rose says the shooter's from the county she lives in.
Yeah, he's from Washington, I think.
Yeah,
like,
that's where she lives.
Why
And
did that guy even live to get in there? Like, once upon a time, like that man never would have made it. Like, an accident would have happened, he never would have got out. He went and took lives, and then he's gonna walk away and laugh. I don't agree with that. That's
yeah,
beyond.
I don't know, but he shot those two. This girl was a MP with the National Guard out of, I think they were both out of West Virginia. I don't know for sure. That one of them might have been West Virginia and the other Virginia. I was trying to read it earlier when I had some lull time over at my son's house, but the male is still in critical condition. He's Air Force National Guard or whatever, and she was Army. She was an MP. But I don't know. He walked up to him yesterday and shot them both with a handgun, like right in
Wow.
in a high traffic area, like a shopping district or something like that. So
Wow.
I don't know if they have, and she died. So initially the reports were that they both died. And then I saw some reporting that said that they were both shot in the head. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's not good. They were both
If I
shot.
was an MP or anybody that went on scene, I would have put them down right there. That's it.
Well, I put out a post yesterday about it because I don't agree with military troops doing what they're doing. They're not trained. Military people are not trained for that stuff.
What
Yes,
stuff?
for civilian policing. Civilian policing is a lot different than how you police in the military. And, you have different threats. And so I don't agree. I don't feel like it's appropriate to use military people in the situation that they're being used for.
Are you talking about like in Chicago or where?
Chicago.
They're not. Well, as far as I know, they're
wherever
not.
it is that they've got them. I know that they've got them in DC.
But they're not.
Chicago.
They're not walking. They're not regular on beats, walking beats, and like follow or like.
Well, the ones in
they're not enforcing the
Washington,
law.
the ones in Washington, I believe they are.
In DC, they can. Yeah.
In DC, that's what they're
Yeah,
using them for.
that's. I mean, yeah, that's legitimate in that city, or that's one place that the government literally like owns. But in Chicago, if you're against what they're doing, they're basically they're guarding federal buildings from being attacked, and I think that's totally within their purview. Some people are worried though, and that's why I bring it up, that they are enforcing laws and like writing tickets and stuff. They're not doing that in Chicago, at least. Now in DC, to your point, probably I could see that, but that's
I don't really know, but here's what the problem
DC.
that I have with it. here's the problem that I have with it. People that are actual law enforcement, not military law enforcement, but actual law enforcement, you're trained differently, and you know the dangers that you face as a police officer are different than the dangers that you face as a person in the military. And I just, I just don't feel like it's appropriate using military people because they're not trained for those kinds of dangers. They're trained. We were trained for different kinds of dangers that
Are
we
you
face.
okay with all the murder that happens in DC on a yearly basis before that? Are you
No,
okay with the
why,
high
why would
high
you why would
volume?
you ask me a stupid question like that, Waylon?
The DC has a very high crime rate, and that's one reason that they
I
enacted
understand
that.
why they're doing what they're doing, but I'm
So you
just
must
telling
be
you.
okay with the alternative. That's a
No, I'm not okay
logical.
with the alternative. I'm okay with
Well, how
them
should
doing
they fix it?
not with military.
The local law enforcement were not doing their job.
Well, then somebody
They
needs
don't
to
have
do something to
jurisdiction over
make
that.
them do their job. I don't know, but I just don't feel like it's appropriate to have military people in
That
there. I
was
feel
that was a that was a precedent that was already set, an ability or a law, or not a law, some kind of a power that Congress already had, which they never used to call up National Guard in DC. It's an ability, and I think they might have used sometime in the past. I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know. I just don't feel like it's appropriate to do that, and I feel like these two people, these two
it's
people's
scary
lives. Well, yeah, it is scary because, like,
because of how bad crime's gotten in some places. That's why this.
well,
That's
it's
why it's
bad
got.
everywhere. It's bad everywhere because we're just not
Well, some
prosecuting.
places are worse
We're
than
just not
others.
imprisoning people for shit. We're not holding
That's
people
true.
accountable for shit. Like, we have one of our biggest problems here. We have bad crime in our state, because it's a very liberal state. So, we have really bad crime, and you have like all of these people that are, you know, not getting the punishment that they should. A lot of the times they're just slapped on the wrist and whatever. But um,
They,
one of our big problems here is that they're using young kids, because our proximity to the border, we have a lot of gangs, a lot of, I don't want to say Mexican gangs, but some of them are, some of the
Central
gangs,
American gangs.
no, it's cartel stuff mostly. But
Yeah, most of those gangs are offshoots of the cartel.
yeah, we have cartel driven kinds of stuff here. But it's not all cartels. Like, it's, I don't know, but the problem is that they're using kids to do things because kids don't, they don't get into as much trouble as what adults do. And so a lot of our crime is being, I shouldn't say a lot of our crime, some of our sticky crime problems are related to juveniles because juveniles are not being held accountable, and they're driving some of our crime statistics higher than what they would normally be. We, like, for example, we just had 4 kids, and this isn't gang related, at least not cartel gang. These kids might be like wannabe gang bangers or whatever, but they're not part of a cartel or anything like that. But they broke into a gun shop here locally and stole a bunch of arms and ammunition, and stuff like that. And everybody, it's been all over, people here, we have some very active social media pages for our community, and people have been actively discussing this, and people are pissed off because, they're like, first of all, they won't name them because they're minors, which, what if these kids truly didn't do anything wrong? They've got the wrong person. They haven't been convicted in a court of law yet. You don't want to drag a kid's name through that because they have to live the rest of their life. Convict them, put them in court, whatever, their names come out, whatever. But until they've been convicted, I don't think that you need to put kids' names out there. But people are pissed off because they're not naming the kids, first of all. And then second of all, the other thing that people are pissed off about is the fact that they're probably going to get a slap on the wrist because they're juveniles. And I know
say,
that
where were their parents at?
Dude, they don't hold parents accountable. They don't hold parents accountable anymore. I'm telling you, it's very rare in any state that you go to that parents are held accountable for their kids' actions in the law. So, but anyway, because I agree with you, they need to go after these fucking parents.
That's a tough one, though. You, as a parent, you know that could be used, like the other direction could be really bad too, right? Like there's like a nuance in the middle where we got to be. I'm not disagreeing with you, Kim. I'm just saying, like, how it used to be when parents were held accountable and kids could get their parents in trouble on purpose by knowing this and have like using that against them and like like a loophole kind of, or the fact that you had some kids that were just like without capital punishment being allowed. You're definitely going to have more kids doing things to get in their parents getting in more trouble. Like back in the day, like if you had one of those kids that were like the extra problem child, you might say, or the more disciplinary children, they like, what's the answer? You spank more and more and more, and like the parents just keep going to jail or what? I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a hard. I'm not saying I would want one way or the other. Somewhere in the middle there, where it maybe just has to be a case by case basis, and there has to be like multiple, not judges, but like caseworkers looking at the case to decide if it's like a case of, say, abuse, or a case of, say, the parents aren't there because aren't around, so the kids out doing stuff they shouldn't do. But do you agree or not, Kim? Like there's a slippery slope in both directions there. Like you got to be careful giving.
Well, I'm always going to say that I'm always going to bring up that Newton's third law. Newton's third law is supposed to be a scientific principle, but I think it applies to everything in life. For every side, for every action, there's an action opposite of it.
Right.
So, we think of those as consequences. There's consequences to everything, good and bad.
Like
so, but I don't know, juvenile crime, like these kids, like, and it's pervasive in our society. These kids are very, very, they're just parents, I don't know.
Do you think it stems from a lot of things though? Like one thing being that both parents have to work now to like be able to make it to survive and pay the bills. So the kids are not seeing the parents as often. Parents have to work second shift, weekends. The kids just aren't like. Is it the parents' fault to be because of that, or is it some sort of bigger societal?
Let me ask you this: whose fault should it be? Should we just throw our hands up in the air and say, "Oh my God, this is too big"? We have parents that can't work. We have kids that can't behave. We have law enforcement.
I wouldn't say that. No, I could lay out several problems.
People have to be held responsible, and if you're going to have a kid, then you've got to be responsible for your child.
Okay, but okay, I have to push back here because there are a few factors, like the factorization after the World War, was it after World War II or because of during World War II, where we started churning out, we sort of factorized school, we started churning out more people that could work in that kind of environment in order to be able to to assembly line technology to be able to build much more technology and much more products and be much more productive here and now that we don't produce anything here, and we at the same time have created a situation with some of this like third wave feminism, which continues to tell women that you will be happier if you just never, do any of the things that were used to be traditional, because you can't do that. Don't do that old stuff. There's a whole section of this that is a problem of, um, there's literal statistics that say that women are that decided to just have careers, are not as happy as women that have families. Now, some women do both. That's a different story. But I'm just saying there are, a multitude of factors here, and some of it is that we have forced both parents to have to work, and that's what I'm pointing at, the feminism and the factorization. They're saying, okay, women, you have birth control now, which we know is bad for you. Here's a birth control thing, so that way we can force you into the workplace, because they're thinking we can get twice as productive if we can have women working too, as men and women. We can get more people in the workforce. And what's that? More tax dollars for us. And this is, I'm thinking, the people at the, so the globalists, or the elites, you might say, of the time, the liberal economic order that they put in place. And then you look at welfare being another issue, where you're incentivized to not be married, incentivized to not have a whole house, incentivized for all these reasons. You get more money, you get less money if you're together. There's different things. And there's just, I guess, a whole soup of issues now that are making it hard for us to raise children like we used to raise them. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some shitty parents, Kim. There are definitely some shitty parents. But there are a lot of factors here pushing parents away from their children in literal ways and metaphoric ways. Like, hey, I got to work too much, and that might be because the parent works or lives in some high, expensive area, and they have to freaking commute for 2 hours. Isn't that insane? I could not imagine some of these people who live in these big cities, like, say, Chicago or New York, and they literally commute for hours to get to work every day and back
That's
home.
one of the reasons why I'm so sick and tired of living in California. Like, I'm not from California, but I lived there for 8 years, and it's just a rat race there. It's like, I don't know. It's just
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures of miles of traffic locked. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how people get anywhere.
I can't imagine doing that. And we're talking about, where's all the time go? Like, well, geez, that's one of the places it's going. Damn, but some people think that they have to be in a big place that's busy like that because, things are happening.
People are making sacrifices, and they, the thing is that, people think that they can do it all. I can have the family, and I can have the high-powered job that pays
right
whatever, and so that I can have this, whatever it is that I want, standard lifestyle.
You can do it all.
It's like a 9 to 5. You'd have to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. I mean, at least to give you 3 hours. From what I've seen, I've never driven in California, but I've seen the traffic, and I have friends there, and they say it's really like that.
Yeah, it's horrendous. It's traffic is crazy.
But you were saying about sacrifice, Kim, you're sacrificing because you think you can do both, but you really end up
that's the thing, and that's the thing with most women, that, I and it's just not just women, it's people wanting more. Right. They want, a particular lifestyle. Mm-hmm. No, it's not even a matter of the grass is greener. It's a matter of people want a particular lifestyle. They want to live in this particular neighborhood, their kids to go to a particular school, drive particular cars, whatever, so people have these standards that they set for themselves, and, you sacrifice things to get what you want. You try to have it all, and you sacrifice, because you can't, it's a trade-off. Everything is a trade-off. And you have to decide what is worth it to you. I couldn't take it in California anymore because of just the way things are there, things like that. I'm not built that way. And, you know, I like money and I like spending money and I like having nice things, but at the same time, I like my sanity, I like my time, I like my peace. And when I'm out of balance in those areas, then I don't give a fuck about money, you
Yeah,
know.
and even though it sounds like it kind of equals out from place to place, you're like, well, the cost of living might be higher in this city, but the pay's higher. Well, when you compare it to like a farm town or something, I've had that discussion recently, and I'm like, well, yeah, the price might sound different, but you're also there's also a lot how do we put it? There's a lot of untangible kind of things that you're getting differently as well. And what I say by differently is not necessarily better or worse. I might say, by my opinion, that it's better to have those things that you would have out at in a like rural farm community, wide open spaces, fresh air, little nature, these things that you could kind of list that aren't necessarily monetary difference, but yeah, you're going to have that if you're out at a little bit more rural place. But then I say this is why I come back to the word different, not better, because some people might love the concrete jungle. I want to be where all the shops are, all the hustle and bustle. And I did. I liked it for a while, and I enjoyed it. I wasn't in the biggest city. I was in my nearby city, which isn't, it's like 200 or 300,000 people. Not the biggest city, but big enough, and annoying enough, and enough times that I've had bad experiences. So now I live in a little bit less of a city. Like it's still considered a city, but it's like a small town, or like a small city, I guess, or like a big town, maybe. How about that? Big town.
It's a bigger city with small town vibe, because that's the way Las Cruces is. We're a farming community here. That's, we've got a state university, we've got White Sands Missile Range, we've got some industry and stuff like that that draws and attracts people, that makes it a larger city. But the people that have, the locals, that our families have been here for 50, 100 or longer years, we're kind of like the glue that holds it together, like we all know each other. Like, I don't know, there's just this vibe.
Mm. All
But
right.
I think that people they sacrifice. And, in order to have it all, in order to have that, my God, people in California are constantly going, dude, like constantly. And their kids are in all this shit. And it's like, I don't know, are your kids even having a childhood? I don't know. People are sacrificing stuff. And it's like, but are you raising good humans? You know what I mean? At the same
Yeah,
time, and
I
that,
totally
as a
agree.
parent, that was what was important to me, was that, I wanted to raise a good human, and I was very, I disciplined my son, and I was strict with him, and, I wanted him to have particular values and stuff like that. And that was what was important to me, rather than, I don't know.
Well, that's why.
I made a lot of personal sacrifices to get where I wanted to be, because I worked a shitty job. I went to college and I raised my son, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, that
But
is
he didn't
totally
lack either.
understandable. But the
He
issue
didn't lack
is,
either. Like, you fucked up at school, dude, you're going to have consequences for it. And I held to that shit. And a
yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
parents, they don't do that. I don't know, they just want to be friends with their kids, or I don't know. I see things differently, because as a school teacher, I've dealt with parents. I've dealt with a lot of volume of parents for 26 years. And it's just like,
you didn't see a shift, a change since from the beginning of that career to now.
yeah, there's just a real degradation of parenting. Parents
Do
I
you
just,
want to know
believe
why?
I don't think it's just the parents' fault. I think it's all of like the way our culture has been going. Go ahead, Chris.
People stop beating their kids. I
It's
mean,
the
I'm
well,
not talking about how I
yes.
got beat. I'm talking about
Capital
discipline.
punishment got
People,
lessened.
You
Yes.
don't need to
people
beat your kids to raise a good kid. Now, my son, if you spanked him, it made him madder. And it was just, he didn't learn that way. So I quit spanking him. I found other consequences that worked with him eventually because spanking him was not something that worked with him.
Well, you got to be able to like adjust. Like it goes without saying that you have to be able to, from a small child, as your kid is growing, you have to assess and adjust to what might work better for them. And yes, some kids spanking them may not be the best plan, but to Chris's point, a lot of kids are so afraid to put their hand on their kid's butt, even for one little tap, that it has made them softer. And now there's no reason to bitch about it because I'm telling you, it's part of it's natural. It's a cycle, the fourth turning. Strong or hard men or no strong men make or no hard times make strong men. Strong men make easy times. Easy times make weak men, and then weak men make what hard times again. And that's where we're coming up to. I think we're running up to the at any year now. It's going to be like actual hard times, like not the kind of first world hard times we're feeling now. You know, and it might be worse or better, but I'd say the Great Depression or the first Civil War, things like that, those are pretty extreme, and we might be running into something like that. And I think it's whether or not it's going to be a good time. I think it's just something that comes about naturally, and whether or not I want it to happen. And it's not even just an American issue. It's like it's almost like every country they stack up. I've talked about this before. All the laws and the red tape and the corruption, it just stacks up so much over time. You have this just imagine all our laws in one stack of paper. It would be like I don't know how many miles high it would go, but just over time, there's just so much that the whole board has to be flipped. The only way
I
that
think
happens
that
is some kind
people
of conflict. You know what I mean? Go
I
ahead.
think that people forget that America is a young country and we've only had one civil war. Other countries have had multiple.
Lots of yeah.
We are a young
And
country.
most civil wars don't turn out the way ours did, North versus South, and even that wasn't
Yeah,
even that true. There was some northern countries
like
that are
from
kind of
overseas
cities.
and yeah.
There were some northern states that were working with the South, and there were like it wasn't as cut and dry as what we're taught in school.
Well, it
But
wasn't even about slavery. I think it was about
just
goods.
states' rights, and slavery was like a main issue in that. But states' rights, and that's what's coming up to again, because we already have some states with the Roe versus Wade being overturned. You have some states that are going full on abortion anytime, no matter what, until you die. Not until your kid dies, until you die. Your kid might be 25 at that point, and you say, you know what, abortion. And some states are like, I'm kidding, but some states are saying almost no matter what, go right ahead. Other states are saying nope, never, no matter under no circumstances. And now I will give them this: most states that are outlawing and banning abortion altogether are leaving cutouts for when the mother's life is in danger, or like things like rape and incest. I'm pretty sure you can fact check me on that if you like. Most of them leave those cutouts. But let's all be real. Most people who are for abortion don't really care about rape and incest. They want it as a choice, because you can ask them
They
if
want to be right.
yeah, well, that might be true for most people.
As
But
a conservative, I'm pro-choice. But I'm pro-choice because you're not going to tell me what to do with my fucking body. And
Exactly.
what does that have to do? So that's pretty contradictive to being conservative, though.
I don't care. You're not going to tell me what to do with my
You
body.
said you're a Christian conservative,
I
but
am. But what I do
so-
with my body is between me and God, not between me and the government or any other fucking person on this planet.
right. And so, according
So
to
the
your
government
religion,
doesn't need to have its fucking nose in
I'm
my
not talking about
business.
government. I'm talking about your religion that you have said many times on this show. What you are is very definitely against it, and you're saying that I don't care about that or what God says.
You're not going to tell me what to do with my fucking body.
God's not. I mean, because you're a Christian
You're
conservative.
not God.
I didn't say I was, but I know what his stance
The
is on
government's not
in that
God.
religion.
And
I know.
neither is anybody else that's sitting there trying to force these laws on people.
So why is it that you get charged with 2 murders if you're a drunk driver and you kill a pregnant woman? Why is
I
that
don't
you get
know.
two?
I don't know.
Because
You
they
need
are
to
two
talk
different bodies. They're two
because
separate.
you need to talk to the state law that made that law.
It's
The
because they're
state
two different
legislature made
bodies.
that law. That's not a universal law. Those laws are not universal. Those are state laws. So you need to go back to your state legislature from whatever state that came from and discuss that with the lawmakers and find out what their intent behind that law is.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
dumb
I've looked in that.
information,
Go ahead.
but in the Torah and in the early Christian Bibles in the early Testament, a child was not alive until, well, like a soul until its first breath. When it took its first breath, that's when the soul would enter the child. That's from the Christian Bible and from the Torah. And a lot of people, they're banking on and they're basing it on their religion, and it's like, do you even know what your religion says? I believe that if rape, incest, if there's something that's gonna harm the woman giving birth, that there's something, if the child might have mass deformities through all of its life because the parent might not have money to cover that. So what's going to happen to that child? That's like a lifetime of suffering. I
These
I
are hard
believe
questions.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, I believe that if a woman says, "Hey, I don't think I can do this. It's not right for me. I can't do it. This would be worse if I have this kid." I believe that she should be able to go and get it terminated because that's
well,
what
hold
it
on.
is. But
You backed up from her being in danger to her saying, "Well, I don't know. I don't think I can afford this. I just need to terminate it."
no, I mean, like, for the child. Like if they did a scan and the child had some sort of deformity, or it was going to take like a mass amount of money that
That's
the parent
eugenics,
didn't
then,
have.
Chris. Then you have to be
It,
okay with eugenics. Like, hey, it might have Down syndrome, so I want to get rid of it.
no, I'm
Like,
not talking about Down syndrome. I'm talking about
that's a deformity.
like something. No, I mean like lungs outside of their body.
So
You
there would
know,
have to be a line
something
there
like that.
somewhere. There would have to be a
Yeah,
line.
I mean something
So
like
who would decide that
really
line, though? Who would decide how
something
bad it?
that you can't cover.
What the bottom
I
line
mean,
is that there are people that have particular values, which are fine. If you want to have those values and they rule
Like
your
not to
life and your
murder and
beliefs, that's cool.
right.
But don't force your values on me. Don't tell me what I can and can't do because what I do is none of your fucking business. I'm not going to stick my nose in your business and go over there and be Inspector Clouseau and be a sin sniffer and whatever, and I expect that people are going to leave me alone with what choices I make, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. It's my life, my choice. And I don't need somebody forcing their values on me. And that's what's going on here. Most of the people traditionally that have been pro choice have been the Christian right, or Christians. And I'm a live and let live person. I want everybody to know Jesus because that's the Great Commission. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go out into the world and teach people to love Jesus and bring them into the fold. Okay, that's fine. But at the same time, we're not supposed to force our values onto people. There's a part where you go out and you introduce people maybe to Jesus, but God does the rest.
I
And
agree.
I have a really big problem with people telling me what my values should be. It's like, don't tell me what my values are. I'm a intelligent thinking person, and I don't need you to tell me what my values are. I don't need you to force your beliefs and your values on me to make me do whatever you think is right. You know,
Ty,
that's I
Ty,
totally
I'm not
feel-
trying to interrupt the conversation, but I commented in the chat that I said the link is pinned. So I'm not ignoring you. So you can say whatever you got to say to get my attention. Here's my attention. That's right here. I'm here. But no, it's been pinned the whole time since you came in. And
So,
it's not a
the thing
Facebook link.
is like, they just had in the news recently, and this is something from my childhood. I remember this from my childhood, that whole Jim Jones thing, where he took, where was it, to the Guianas or however you say it, this religious leader, and he took and he gave people poison Kool-Aid and poisoned all of his followers. The guy's freaking drug addict and just fucking
They
crazy.
went to my restaurant that I
We-
worked at.
And it's like, this is supposedly a man of God. I don't need a man of God coming into my life and telling me shit about what I should believe or what I should do about anything.
How else do you spread the word?
Right straight out of the
Not
Bible.
drinking the. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Waylon.
How do you spread
Listen.
the word out of the Bible by reading it to people?
No, are you talking
Yeah.
about the people in Pennsylvania that drank the Kool-Aid from the comet? They came to the Horn and Horn in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. They had this entire fucking table set out. They tipped the girls $100, and every time they brought out food, they were like, "Oh, ah, yeah, they were gone."
All right, Ty, let me explain something to you. If you've ever used StreamYard, StreamYard is the same way. You can't get a Facebook link on StreamYard. There's a link for StreamYard that you can then use to get on StreamYard. This is the exact same thing, but it's something called Rumble Studios. So there's no Facebook link to be given. I'm also on YouTube, Twitch, X, Kick, and Rumble. And there's no link for any of those except for Rumble Studios, which is what we're using right now. Which I don't know why we're still on. We're just like rambling now. I was going to leave an hour ago. That's why a bunch of people left back then, but we just kept in the conversation.
I'm really high.
Someone said the link's not working. Well, I can put a new link in there, but let's see.
Yeah, but that's why I'm pro-choice, because you're not gonna fucking tell me. You're not gonna tell me.
Now,
what
look.
with my
I
body.
agree
If I
with
don't
you
agree
on
with
that
it,
part.
If I don't agree with it, then I'm
I
not
think
doing it.
I
And if
think
I-
the government should not be telling us or should not be involved at all. I think their money shouldn't be involved. Planned Parenthood shouldn't be getting tax dollars. Like I
think
agree.
Planned Parenthood should get tax dollars, but I don't think
Really?
they should get tax dollars for abortion.
It's
I
not
think it's
blue.
Okay,
should
I don't think it should be used as
something
a
else.
form of contraception or like.
Yeah, but that's your values.
Like-
that's your
Yeah.
values, your beliefs. You can't force
Yeah.
your values and beliefs on people that don't have the same thing. Now, if you want
I don't
people
believe
to have
that.
those values and beliefs, then you need to go and convince them why it's wrong. You need to show them a different way or a different way of thinking or whatever. But you cannot force people. You cannot legislate morals, and that's what they're doing, and it's not right. It's like,
No,
fuck
but
I
so
do.
let me ask you guys this then. If we can agree that the government shouldn't be forcing morals onto us, would it be a good or bad thing for us to maybe culturally be more vocal about not like abstaining from not having the sex in the first place, and then saying, "Oh, oops, oh, no, I can't afford this. I gotta have a baby. Have to kill this life."
How are you going to
Couldn't we?
control that?
It's not about controlling it. It's not about
How,
saying. It's not about forcing it. But right now, the conversation is no, 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 no. Kids should be able to have as much sex as they want because then they can just have abortions. There's no agreement of like, hey, if we can, if I want them to have access to abortions, I also should have. There should be propaganda out there about, hey, you don't want to have to go through this horrific thing that yes, you might have access to, but there should be some propaganda, some cultural push to maybe make that a little less prevalent. Now, I'm not saying that you can force it, but right now it's all about like sex sells and it's like everything everywhere is like look at all the
I
yeah,
think that's reasonable.
like there should be a societal sort of
Just like
they
a
shun
reality check.
that's a moral judgment. That's pushing your values onto people.
Yeah, well, we every country has general values, and that's like the general culture of that country, and the culture changes over time, but that's up to us
Well,
to
that's
decide.
what's happened is culture has changed
Right.
dramatically.
Well, that's
Because
up
I
to
know when I
people
was
in the
younger, a
culture.
lot of this shit, you didn't hear of abortions happening when I was a kid.
Right, and some of that is because
Uh,
of contraception and because of this whole
Well, there's been a
push of
lot of
free
cultural.
love and go and been a push for women to go and be hoes like men are, go and be women players. Oh, do it just
I
because
don't
men.
think that there's a push for
It's
women to
been
go and be hoes and
there
players and
is
whatever. No, I don't think so. I think what it
go
is
and get
there's a
yours.
push for women to be equal. So
Yeah,
if a
let's
man
do what
can
they
go,
do.
why the
Well,
fuck?
instead of wanting men to be better, let's just go ahead and be as bad as we think men are. Like
Well,
that's not good logic.
but well, maybe not. But there's a pendulum that swings when you take when people finally start getting their freedom and they start exercising the boundaries of that freedom. That pendulum is going to swing way over here. I think
Yeah, I just think some
eventually
of
it'll
that
come
was
back
artificial.
because
I don't disagree that women should be, should be able to do things that they want to do. But the point is, some of that was pushed because we wanted women to be in the workforce, and there was some nefariousness behind that. A lot of women state today that are very happy because they have the fulfillment of like the like a home to take care of and family and stuff because you don't really have that if you live single. Like coming from a single man with kids, I have it, but at the same time I don't because in order to upkeep a house by yourself with that has kids and pets, which is all they're all my fault, right? All those things are my fault. But to upkeep all of that by yourself means that you're really like not around for any of it. Like you were saying before, Kim, about sacrifice.
it's a trade-off.
And
It's a trade-off.
I sacrificed because because I opened my fucking legs, and so we should have more, a little bit more. Like we should be like, there's people will shun, no matter what. Society will have a general cultural kind of line, and you might say pushing morals, but there's a general moral line of the culture, and right now the hookup culture, we call it, dating culture, is so
Disgusting.
prevalent.
It's
It might be
nowadays
disgusting, it's detrimental, but it's also what's
disgusting.
socially norm. And I'm just saying,
I know, but
not
it's
through
just
legislation, not through government, we should just like more influencers should be more
we
talk
started
about it more.
seeing we
That's all.
started seeing this kind of stuff when there started being a degradation of people going to church. More and more people stopped going to church. I don't know, we became less of a religious society, in my
I
opinion.
did not. I did
We
not know this was a hookup time. I took a piss the other day and there was a cobweb. So, like, give them my address. No,
Um,
I don't go out at all. Like, I don't know anything about. You were saying that sex sells and It's
No,
a
it
hookup
does,
time.
dude.
No,
It's
I don't.
disgusting.
I don't
Like,
know.
you ought
I
to be
know
a
sex
high school.
sells, but
You ought to be a
I
high school
haven't been out.
teacher. You ought to be a high school
Oh,
teacher like I was.
Yeah.
And it's like
oh no,
all this
that's way too
shit. It's
young.
like it's disgusting. The shit that
Well, and
goes
it,
on.
and it
I
can't
can't
come
believe
from people of authority like that. It can't come from politicians or teachers, like, and
no,
maybe
you
some
can't
teachers.
legislate morals.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not in disagreement with you on this. My point is, it needs to come from the culture. It needs to come from our singers and our our
TV
comedians, I guess, and
shows.
TV and stuff. And instead, they're going the other way with it.
Well, see,
Um,
that's the
you know,
thing. When I was raising my son wasn't allowed to listen to. He listened to Christian music until he got into high school. I was very, very
So,
careful about what I let my son watch. And if I let him watch, like, I let him go see, or we watched, I rented Schindler's List, or maybe I bought the video of it. I don't remember. But I wanted him to see that movie because I wanted to teach him some stuff through that about compassion and about understanding humanity and things like that. It was a really harsh movie for him to watch at the time. He was, I think, like 12 or 13 years old. But I was very, very careful about what I let my son, the media of any kind that I let my son be exposed to, because I didn't want him to lose the innocence of his childhood. I wanted him to be raised with good morals and values. We went to church. We were very involved in church. Um, I didn't let him watch whatever he wanted to watch on TV, you know, and that was from the time he was little. Like when he was he was a little guy when like the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles came out. And
morphin' time.
I didn't have so much a problem with Ninja Turtles, but he started having nightmares about Shredder, and I'm not exactly sure who Shredder is, but he would have
Ninja
nightmares
Turtles.
about Shredder.
He's in
So I
Ninja
stopped,
Turtles.
huh?
He's in the Ninja Turtles.
No, I know he is,
Okay,
but
I thought you were like, I thought he
I
was.
don't know who he is, and I don't know why it was that Taylor was having nightmares about Shredder. But
he's like a main boss.
when he started having nightmares about Shredder, I was like, this is not something my son needs in his conscience. Power Rangers was around the same time. Power Rangers was a big thing. And Taylor
Go, go,
started doing all
Power
this fighting
Rangers.
shit. And it's like, I don't want my son acting like that because it leads
Do you know
to,
why he watched the Power Rangers?
well,
The
I
pink,
know
the
why
Pink Ranger. The Pink Ranger.
he was in fucking kindergarten. He wasn't thinking about no pink.
Yeah, the
Wait.
Pink Ranger.
So you said he started doing some fighting stuff.
Yeah. And I noticed all kinds of kids were doing that. And I said, this is not the kind of influence that I want in my child's life. So I started noticing when he was little like that things like that were influencing him. And I was like, I don't want my son to have those kind of influences because those are natural kinds of propensities that people have, especially kids, and they're very impressionable. So, at that point, I was just very, very careful about what I allowed him to view on TV, and anything that was, violent or,
You think
created that desire within him were things that I just I didn't want to feed that energy.
well,
I'll be
I
right
would
back, but then I have a question.
I would have to say that it can be. It's so. How do we put this? The outlet for testosterone in young boys has been nearly snuffed out. Now, there's still plenty of like sports, and there's you can get into martial arts as a kid, but not as many parents do that. I think, in my opinion, I'd have to look at the numbers, but I think less parents do that stuff and try to coddle the kids, try to keep the kids from danger and violence.
Oh,
Um,
Taylor wasn't kept from danger or violence. Fuck, that dude was out there getting into all kinds of shit.
Well, you're
But
saying that you were trying to, or at least.
I didn't want him fighting. I didn't want him fighting. Like, if you've got to fight because somebody's trying to hurt you, then you fight. But I don't need
What if he
you.
doesn't know how then? Because you didn't know he never was around any kind of anything to
That was
see.
never an issue for my son. Trust me.
I think okay. I'm not saying that it would be good to expose him to a bunch of like gory violence, but at the same time, I think it's good
My generation
for
didn't grow up with that kind of fucking shit, watching that kind of shit on TV. In fact, we didn't hardly have any
not on
TV when I was
TV,
little.
but well,
Well,
okay.
that's what I'm telling you. In media, and media fucking is powerful in that way. It's powerful towards violence, instilling violence, and it's powerful towards sex. And those were two things that I just didn't want my son to be, to have like heavy influences in. I didn't want him growing up thinking it was okay to behave like that or to.
But what if it was okay? And then let me ask a different question then. Would have been okay? Let's say it's not super expensive, which it is, but like to put your kid through in say a taekwondo class or a self defense class, like because I think kids should be exposed to it in the right way, in a way where, say like a dad showing his son how to hunt, something to that effect, where hey kids, this is not a toy, the whole spiel, the whole thing about the
And
teaching
he
good
got that through my
ethics.
dad. He got the hunting and the fishing just like I did. I grew up with my dad was from
Okay,
Texas.
well that's good.
So he got that. He got all of his manly whatever. He
It's not a whatever. We are men. We have
Well, I know,
needs
but
too. We
whatever.
have
I'm just
needs.
saying, generally speaking, he got his
We have
manly
our
stuff.
needs.
I understand that, and my son does not. Trust me when I say you don't want to fuck with my son. He'll beat the shit out of you. But you know, he. I made sure that, and he wasn't particularly interested in playing any sports, but I made him do sports because I wanted him to have a broad variety of activities.
Team connection.
Well, not just team connection, but activities for good health and social and emotional development, and an outlet for, because he's very ADHD, and he needed activities to get that whatever out of him from that ADHD. So I made him do sports, and he did different sports. He played softball, he played baseball, he played soccer, he played football, he did sports camp every summer, um, basketball, everything, everything that was in our community that was within our reach, I had him involved in. Sports camp was great because they did all kinds of different sports like tennis and I don't, stuff that was outside of the normal basketball, baseball, football kind of a thing, So he had a smattering of all kinds of different sports. But, so he got his masculine needs met. But I just wasn't about reinforcing those more negative kinds of things. He doesn't need to fucking learn how to fight by watching Power Rangers, and he definitely doesn't need to go be acting out Power Rangers and beat the shit out.
Listen,
Dude,
I definitely hope he doesn't actually try to fight anyone that way because as he's getting ready, as he's warming up, and the guy is, and you're just like, it's
you
time,
I
and
have
then the
to
guy
tell you,
just comes in with the.
I have to tell you a funny story. So when Taylor was little, up until he was 2, my mom lived with us, and my mom took care of him because I was in the Air Force. My mom lived with us, and she took care of my son. And she used to watch wrestling on TV every night. I would go to bed because I had to be up at dark 30 to go to work. But my mom would stay up, and Taylor would stay up, and they would watch wrestling. And we had these really big, humongous square pillows, throw pillows, in the living room. So anyway, one day, and this was out at White Sands Missile Range, and so that I lived on the missile range. And so one day, one of my Air Force friends' wife came over with their son, who was just a couple of months older than Taylor. And Taylor was way more developed than her son. Her son wasn't even walking. Taylor was like 2 or 3 months younger than this kid, and he was already fucking walking and opening the doors. So anyway, so she and I are in the kitchen, lived on military houses, and she and I were in the kitchen talking, and the boys were in the living room, and it got really quiet. And I was like, it's awful quiet in there. And I went and I looked around the corner, and Taylor had her son in a fucking headlock. He's like not even a year old yet. Had her son in a fucking headlock with that kid's face pushed into the pillow.
Nice.
Yeah. So I told my mom, I'm like, he can't watch wrestling with you anymore, Mom. Like, he's paying attention to this shit. So I don't know, you just have to be a parent, and you have to be a good consumer of what your kids are doing. And a lot of people are too
Yeah,
fucking
that's true.
lazy to do that. They're like,
That's a
oh,
big
it's not going to hurt them. Let them play Grand Theft Auto or
Yeah,
all of
that's
these.
what I was gonna ask. I've helped raise kids, but I don't have any children of my own. Like, where do you draw the line between what you want to protect your child from and what they have to learn from life to like get them owned and strengthened? Because you know that you're not going to be there all the time. They have to go out on their own. Like, how do you judge that?
And not just that,
Both of
but
you.
keep them. So to that point, Chris, that's been a long time question. Like, how do you make sure that your kid is like strong enough to be out in the wilderness of life? But on top of that, now you have this a secondary thing, which is the pop culture. Like, you want your kid to be able to fit in with people of their own of other peers.
Yeah,
Not
that's what
necessarily
I'm
that they have
saying.
to
Where
know
do you
every
draw the
reference. They
line?
don't have to know every reference, but you still want your kid to be able to know like what the Ninja Turtles are, but maybe not
Yeah.
necessarily let them
So
have a lot
you
of
want them to go
content with
out.
that. You know what
That's
I mean? Like,
But I'm not a parent, so I can't speak from that. I was just wondering, like, because they have to,
Well, the
to
thing
it's
feel
hard.
is,
It's not.
you
There's
don't
no
want
good
to
answer.
protect them from everything. You cannot do that
Right.
because they're going to go spend the night at their friend's house, or they're going to
Yeah,
be
it's gonna
exposed to
happen.
those things. But you don't have to reinforce things like that in your own home, you know. And
Right.
Taylor
No,
knew
I get
why.
that.
Taylor knew why I didn't allow him to watch Power Rangers, and he knew why I didn't allow him to watch Ninja Turtles.
I mean, there's a
You know,
lot of
it
other
wasn't like I
titles
just took
out
it
there.
away and it just disappeared. It was like, son, you're having nightmares from this stuff. I don't think it's good, and I don't want you watching it anymore. But was he watching it at his friend's house when he was over there? Maybe, possibly. You know,
But you
I
can't
can I
control all
cannot
of that.
control
Right.
that,
Right.
but I can control what happens in my own home, and I don't have to reinforce those kinds of things
What
in
do you
my own
think about
home.
parents who, let's say, for example, like drinking or something like that, where they allow it, but only if you're at, like, in my home, because the parent, or another situation is where parents will say to call me anytime you are, too drunk to drive, and
I would rather I would rather my child, if they make that poor decision. My son was not ever allowed to drink or do drugs or anything like that while he was growing up. I don't agree with that. And the reason is because developmentally, it just isn't good developmentally for their brain and the rest of their body.
the brain isn't formed until
Yeah.
their late
So I
I
twenties.
would,
I
I would,
agree.
I would never have allowed, and even to this day, I would never allow my child to partake in that stuff. But at the same time, if my son decided he was going to go do whatever and went out there and got drunk, I would rather my son call me and say, Mom, I'm drunk. Can you come and get me? I've told my students, I know you guys go out and party. And all of my students that I cared about had my phone number. And I would text them, like if they were out sick, they'd text me, what's my homework or what do I need to do or whatever. But I would tell them, if you find yourself in a dangerous situation, please call me and I
Well, how
will
do
make
you?
some kind to come and get you. I am not going to protect you from not telling your parents, but I do not want you out there by yourself, because kids just, they don't have the world experience to know how to navigate things, and I
Right.
don't want them to be in danger. But yeah, shit, yeah, my son knew that if he was out there and he did something stupid or whatever, that to call home and I'll come and get you. I
But
did that with my,
how do you reconcile that though with you saying this is a hard rule?
because
You
I
do not do
don't want my
this.
child dead. I
No,
don't want
that's not my
them
point.
in
No,
more
you're not understanding.
danger.
My point is the kids will then lie to the parents if they know this is a hard rule. Again, my mom said I'm going to get in trouble if I do this thing, whatever, alcohol or something. So the reason I'm saying that is because the parents that say hey, call me anytime, like they are a little more open to it, a little more cool. They might say my mom's cool or whatever. But the thing is, usually it ends up with the kids not really wanting to do it as much, or at least they say that the more you are trying to keep something for the kids, the more they want to try and do it. I think that a simplest answer is to explain to the child that all of the problems, like you said, your brain's not even done developing yet. Do you really want to do this before your brain's done? Like, explain to them why you wouldn't want them to do it, instead of, and I'm not saying you are this way at all, I'm just saying, like, the typical parent would say, you're not allowed to do this, and that's
If
it,
you
that's
get
final, that's my word, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the
Do you
deal.
hear what I'm saying? Like,
When you get hard line and all authoritative,
without explaining anything.
I'm not
Right.
an authoritative person. We just didn't live that kind of a lifestyle where it was really an issue. That was just not something my son ever was inclined to do. At least, not until he got older, like upper high school, maybe kind of
You got
age.
lucky. My daughter never
No,
did
I
either,
wasn't
so
lucky. My son was raised with good values,
yeah.
and I talked to him, and he knew, like, I didn't just say, no, you're not going to do that. It's like, no, you're not going to do that. And this is the reason you're not going to do that, kind of a thing. But I wasn't authoritative about it, where it became a power struggle. And I didn't want my son to be afraid of the consequences, so badly afraid of the consequences that he wasn't going to call me if he got into a situation, you know?
That's not bad, Debbie. Debbie said she'd give a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I mean, I know that definitely can be sad if you have one that that becomes a a never-ending project, I guess. That's a lot of times that's why people have multiple kids too. That's a good argument for multiple kids,
Why?
is because they don't all turn out the way that you're
Oh, yeah.
hoping or expecting or you need them to turn out, because let's face it, sometimes having children is out of necessity. Like, I have a company or an empire or just a small business or something that has to be passed on or that I want to pass on, um, and sometimes you're not going to get that with the one or two that you have. So, and that's, I mean, maybe not a thing that we have to see as much now in the first world, but it's probably going to come back. In my opinion, like, we got to get back to families, and it's been that way for a little while now, and I've been thinking it and talking about it, but I'll probably be a little too late when it gets to the past the point of no return. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. We're at 3.5 hours. 18 people still chilling out with us. It's been a chill conversation. We've gone all sorts of different directions.
3.5 hours. She said 5 minutes.
Chris, you've outdone yourself tonight. You've gone way longer than I think anyone expected.
He's all fucked up over there.
Right. He thinks he doesn't even know he's awake right now.
I'm high as shit.
Yeah, you are. Waylon was high as shit earlier. He was like slurring his words. I was like, dude, if I didn't know better, you were taking some nips.
Nah, I was tired still. I fell asleep. I was falling asleep again. It was from taking the Fico. Just made me nice and tired. Okay with me. I needed some sleep. All right, guys.
You should try to put mushrooms in your Fico.
I'm good.
Like cook up mushroom juice and shoot mushroom juice in your Fico.
Cook up the mushroom juice. Just whip it up.
There's science behind it. I just can't think of it right now.
Okay. Well, we're not going to think about it right now. We're going to get going. Hey, everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a stress-free Christmas season, and I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the month.
Have fun for Black Friday. Ugh.
Yes, Black Friday. Guys, stay safe this weekend. I mean, I honestly have some plans, but I don't think I'm going to go to
everybody drive safe, too. There's going to be a lot of maniacs out there.
Yeah.
Shit, people are fucking maniacs as it is.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I went out today
for a while too.
The stupid lady last weekend or the weekend before? I don't know. I was going to pick up my granddaughter to go shopping, and I'm driving down the road, and this lady ran me off the road and ran me into the fucking curb.
Wow!
And it pissed me off, and because she was coming over into my lane. I mean, she was like right next to me when she started coming over. And I had to slam on my brakes and swerve. And so anyway, I fucking followed her. And so she turned right up the street. She went up the street at the light and turned right, and I followed her. And then she went up to the next street and turned right, and I followed her there. And she went into the parking lot of this business. And I pulled up next to her, and I rolled my passenger window down. When she got down, it was an older woman. And I said, "Why were you trying to run me off the road?"
Didn't see you.
I wasn't trying to run you off the road. You were in my blind spot. And I was like, I didn't say this to her, but I wanted to tell her, girl, I wasn't in your blind spot. I was right next to you, and you didn't see me.
She's older, you said, right?
Yeah.
Losing her peripheral vision. The tunnels were closing in. The tunnels are closing in.
If she's got tunnel vision, she doesn't need to be fucking driving.
There's a lot of people that have that second part that doesn't need to be driving part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like I had to get mad at some lady the other day, but then I didn't go and talk to her, but we were in an area where the lines weren't painted because they just put the road down, and she just basically drove around me when there's no lane, and I'm just honking at this lady because she just drives around me as I'm waiting to go through this intersection. Anyway, let's get going. I get sucked back into more conversation. Hey, we're going to play a game on Sunday. Come back for the final round of Turkey Hunt. Gobble, gobble, boom. Gobble, gobble, boom. That's what we call it. Anyway, thanks, Chris, and thanks, Cam, for hanging out. We'll see you all later. Remember,
all right, see you guys later. Have a good night.
Smash the like button. Follow the channel if you haven't done so, and we'll talk about more of a regular topic next week. We'll see you there. Remember, everybody's got to eat. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Waylon the indoor farmer. Check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Waylon the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Waylon's here, and he's these boxes where to keep.